broadcasting live 4 days a week worldwide
from the sunny beaches of Southern California.
This is ExtremeHealthRadio.com.
Hey, you're listening to Ty Bollinger of CancerTruth.net. You're also listening to Justin and Kate with Extreme Health Radio. These guys are great. Enjoy listening to them. I always do.
Well, here we are on another episode of Extreme Health Radio.
Where does the time go?
And there you have it.
And there you have it.
I know, right? Crazy.
Today's a little different, though.
Why?
We have a torrential storm hitting Southern California.
Oh, it's a ferocious storm hitting Southern California.
the only one we've had in about 5 years, maybe?
We're getting a half an inch of rain here. I don't know if we can, we can deal with it.
I don't know if I can battle through this one. It's pretty funny, isn't it?
It is the first rain of the season, really.
It actually is.
First significant rain.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Man, we need it. We really need it.
Yeah. Our lemon trees outside are getting watered and soaked.
Oh, thank the Lord.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like going out there to water them.
I know. It's perfect timing. And our little citrus tree, what is it, tangerine tree?
We have a tangerine tree, and we have a Meyer lemon tree and a regular lemon tree.
2 lemon trees. I love lemons.
Lemons are amazing. And for the first year, they say sometimes you don't get a good yield or whatever you want to call it from your tree. But, man, we've had that thing exactly a year, and I think we've got 30 lemons off of it.
I know. It's been incredible.
It's been incredible for the first year. And it's in a giant container. It's not even in the ground.
It's not even in the ground. We used, didn't we use some of that? What
Earth, what is it? Earth Recharge?
Earth Recharge?
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked to, who did we talk to? Golly, I can't remember. What was his name?
Oh, gosh.
From ProgressiveEarth.com, I think.
I think that's right.
And we got some of his solution, wasn't it?
I'm forgetting his name. We'll have to put a link to him.
ProgressEarth.com.
Progress Earth?
I think it's Progress Earth. Yeah, Evan Folds.
Oh, that's right.
Look at that memory coming back. I took my ginkgo biloba today. There you go. I had ginkgo biloba for breakfast.
Oh, gosh, you did not. I had a
side
I'm actually
of
not very proud. You had a side of what?
Of ginkgo.
I had 2 coconut macaroons.
Oh, did you?
the raw ones or whatever they are, the organic sulfate-free
yumminess.
But I had fruit and then I waited an hour and I had those. I just couldn't contain my excitement about
that's good. That's good. Nice food combination.
Mix it up a little.
Yeah, the garden. We need to get going on the garden for the spring, don't we?
It is time. I feel really bad about that. I should have, I think you're supposed to have had your spring garden planted by now, but...
Your spring garden?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are we that late? It's middle of winter here.
I think we're late. It's almost March, though.
That is true.
Things are supposed to be blooming.
That's true.
That's okay.
Well,
it is what it is.
We'll battle back.
Yeah.
No feeling bad.
No feeling bad.
This is working with nature.
Yes, yes. You're absolutely right.
What kind of things do you want to grow this year? Lettuce and more lettuces?
Lettuce doesn't do as well.
Oh, yeah, lettuce is more of a wintertime thing. Huh?
Yeah, well, chard and kale did really well for us.
Chard and kale.
Green beans took off.
Green beans.
We didn't do good with any of the vegetables like carrots or any kind of root. They were 2 inches big and they were all flimsy.
Yeah.
That wasn't good.
They weren't good, yeah.
We had some blackberries that did pretty good.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Cucumbers would be good.
Yeah. Stella's in the chat room says, what about dandelions? Good point.
Oh, yeah. Dandelions grow anywhere.
We love juicing dandelion. We always buy our dandelion greens, but you're right.
I hate the taste of it, but I love what it does for you.
I know. You feel the liver contracting. It's good. We add them to almost every juice we make. That's a great suggestion.
Does anybody out there have any unique ways? I'm curious if there's anyone in the chat room that could talk about this. Any unique ways of making dandelion taste good? I mean, I know lemon. Lemon is really good to mask the flavor of greens and juices, and I've found that when you do green smoothies, bananas are really great to mask the flavor. But I'm wondering, dandelion is such a strong flavor, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty darn powerful. It's funny though when we go on walks, you point out, "Is that dandelion? Is that dandelion? Can we eat that?" Well, I don't know.
Okay, can we eat that? Can we eat that?
Growing up right next to a dumpster outside of a cracked cement slab in the middle of grossness.
I know, probably peed on by dogs and sprayed with
God knows what chemical.
God knows what chemical. Yeah, it would be cool to do some. I would really love to grow some cucumber, but cucumbers are really tricky.
You know, ours did okay though last year.
I thought they didn't do good.
No. They took off and then it like all came at once and then they were gone.
But didn't they, or was it squash that didn't do well?
Squash did not do well.
But cucumber did?
Cucumber took off. Remember, it took over that whole little garden bed, that little one?
Is cucumber the type of thing that it only grows for a certain amount of time, like for like a month out of the season?
I don't know. I'm not a pro gardener, if anyone out there knows, but ours grew for about 2 and then they were done.
Problem with cucumber is that you almost need you need like 7 a day or 7 a week.
Yeah, 1 a day for a juice.
If you juice a full cucumber. But what amazing.
Yeah, we went through them. There weren't enough, but we kind of supplemented. We go buy organic and then we'd like, let's go to the garden and get one.
Yeah, I love that.
I know.
I love picking that fresh fruit. I like the tangerines and things.
Oh gosh, nothing like it.
What I really want to do is get a avocado tree.
Oh, me too.
That is just the dream.
When we actually have a plot of land to plant something, because everything's growing in containers, that would be amazing.
Yeah, avocados.
That's the first thing we're going to plant.
Avocado and lemon. I mean, what a great thing. Lemon.
Ooh.
Amazing.
You can make some good guac.
Good guac. I like it.
Got some cilantro growing in the garden. You're good to go.
Good to go. So I haven't even officially introduced this episode. We just got to talking and
you wind us up and blah, 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 we blab. We blab away.
There you go. So this
Lips
is
flapping.
Episode 213. Is that right?
That's correct. Gosh, I don't have it written down.
Is that right? Episode
213, yeah.
And look at how I go wrong with the dates. It's 9/11, by the way.
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah.
Yep, it is 9/11 in the morning. Mm-hmm.
So guess what date I have written down here?
Oh, gosh. Are you in March or are you in January?
I have February 13th, 2014.
What is
Not
wrong?
even close. It's the 28th.
What is wrong with you?
I have no idea. Okay, so it's February 28th, 2014. For those of you who are listening 10 years in the future, we hope that the Earth is still spinning and the sun still rises.
And our cucumbers are still growing.
That's right. So hopefully you're having a good day. If you'd like to join the show, lots of different ways to do that. We have lots to get to today, so I'm glad that you guys are listening and listening live and joining us. If you want to listen live, you can go to extremehealthradio.com/live. Excuse me, and you can join the chat room there. You can call. If you would like to call on the Free for All Friday shows, you can do so at 949-505-9585. And you can call up and we can take your questions and hopefully get to the bottom of any health issues that you may have. And we can pose your question to our community on Facebook and in our forums and hopefully get all your questions answered by pooling together all the different resources we have here at Extreme Health Radio.
And we actually have a cool forum story that's going to...
Oh yeah, we have
tell today.
People that are going to call up.
A couple of our friends calling in. We'll talk about that. But it's really cool. Testament to the forum.
I know, it's pretty great. So if you guys have not joined the forum, I would highly recommend joining up because all the other listeners, many of them are a part of that, and it's free to join. And you can. It's kind of off Facebook, so it's not Facebook related, which is nice. Mm-hmm. And so it's a cool way to join the community of listeners here on Extreme Health Radio and talk about the different guests that we have on, as well as your health concern, and you can help others out. It's really cool.
It is neat. And you can, not everyone's going to agree on everything, but it's cool to kind of have friendly debates and things.
Lively discussions, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Lively discussions. That's a great way to put that.
Friendly debates.
Friendly.
Yeah, so it's cool. It's really a cool thing. So if you guys really want to join a community that's off Facebook, I kind of like that, just personally, that it's off Facebook.
People seem to be liking that more and more. I mean, I've had 3 friends this week, personal friends, that have said adios Facebook, and they're
have you really
kind of done with it. More and more people are just becoming frustrated or done.
Wow, they don't like all the intrusion, the spying going on, huh?
Right. Yeah, they don't like being advertised to at the very least.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys would like to join our community, that would be a lot of fun to interact with everyone, and you can tell people how you're doing things and how, if you've got some tips or health things that you like to do, we got a lot of discussions going on in there also about things like meditation and spiritual stuff and, products like, different appliances that people are using, like the eggs and all these crazy things.
Yeah.
Water spinners. Huh? Crazy stuff going on in there. So please join if you'd like to do that. And also, I wanted to let you guys know, too, that we are now accepting freelance writers to our website. And it's a new feature that we're going to be having, and we're going to be promoting more. So it's a situation where if you would like to do that, please send an email to me. The problem is that we get lots of submissions. We probably get 10 submissions a day, I would say, by people that write in that are just wanting a link to their website. Like, they're not real health people. You know, they're freelance writers, but I don't know what it is. Like, they just trying to do marketing or something like that. And I could tell right off that they're not, you know, people that are interested in cutting edge health.
Yeah.
And so what we want to do is feature your articles on our website, but they must be articles that have never been written before and never published anywhere before. But we would post those on our website, and there would be a little bio at the bottom, and you can put a link back to your Facebook account and to your website. And we would also share that article to our Facebook community. So you would get a lot of exposure through those two things. And so it's a great way to sort of get your work out there. So if you're interested in that, please let me know.
Yeah. We could use really great content.
Yeah.
I know, because half the people, like, you're right, that write in, it's like how to lose weight in 5 days or how to not eat. You're like,
I know.
This isn't very helpful.
One person wrote in, they was talking about like 5 tips before your next plastic surgery, you know, or, you know, tips for overcoming your next surgery, you know?
Oh gosh.
And I just, come on, you know, that's not.
Yeah, but the paragraph before that, we love your blog. We love what you're all about. We listen to every one of your shows.
Or, you know, most of the time they don't even say that. And so, to some of those I've written back saying, "Oh, which episode do you like?"
Oh, that's the
best. And it's just crickets.
Yeah.
You know? They've never heard it.
Of course.
You know, or the last person wrote in and said, what did they say? Oh, your blog is so very well neat and put together so nicely. Very rare these days. You know, I mean, our blog is like the least good-looking website in the world. I mean, there's so many websites that look better than ours.
Right. Well, you know, it's not going to start out good when it's Dear Sir or Madam.
Dear Sir or
I
Madam.
listen to your, or it's not even I listen, it's I read your blog, and our blog is like the most neglected part of our whole site.
I know. They say your blog is very helpful and extremely informative. You know, it's helped me very much.
At least they got the word extreme in there. They were picking things out of our title, at least.
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy.
Yeah, but we could really use some really great content. We know so many of you guys out there have such great things to say, and you've tried things, and you have great information. So
yeah, so if you'd like to submit an article, please just email me, and there's a link off to the right side of our site if you would like to learn more about the details of that and the requirements, and so you can check that out. It's actually down near the bottom. And it's the second ad from the bottom at the moment. It says, "Are you a natural health expert? Write for us and gain exposure." So yeah, consider doing that, guys, if you'd like. And
I know, my throat.
Yeah, I feel like,
Excuse me.
you know, we probably have a parasite in there.
I know we have a parasite after talking to the guests we had last week.
Yeah, we've had some pretty crazy guests, haven't we?
Yeah.
We have not posted the shows. We are so apologetic of that. It's just so busy. We work so hard to get these shows to you, and we're working hard.
We don't waste a minute of the day. It's so beyond insane how fast time goes, and yet how much we're doing.
I know, right?
We can't get caught up.
Yeah, we just cannot seem to get caught up. And so we had, who did we have? We had
Ian Clark.
No, Ian Clark was posted.
Oh, he's posted.
Episode 208.
Okay.
And he was really great. Well, I don't think we've really talked about him, have we?
Let's talk about him.
Yeah, he's a really interesting guy. And he talked with us primarily about his story of overcoming health. And I think he had some...
Overcoming health?
Overcoming disease. I was looking at the website.
Yeah.
And it said that he had some sort of tumors or something like that. Remember? In the mid-90s? So we talked about his story and how he came up with the Oceans Alive product, the marine phytoplankton.
And we didn't even make it to the magnesium.
No, we were going to
part
kind
of the show.
Talk about half of the magnesium, because those are his staple products, those two products, the magnesium and the marine phytoplankton. And pretty fascinating guy. And you can tell by listening to him that he's just like a stickler for details, and he's really on it.
Yeah, which is exactly what you want, anything you're putting in your body. But
Yeah. Pretty cool guy.
The problem for you and I is not problem, but the challenge is we want to have all these things part of our daily regimen. It's so hard to try to, there's like a list of so many things. That
you could spend $1,000 a month on all the amazing things.
Yeah.
So you just got to pick a couple of them, try them out, see what you think, and if you like what it does for you, keep going. If not, try something different. But if you go to extremehealthradio.com/208, you'll be able to listen to that interview that we did with Ian Clark, and he's a really interesting guy doing some great work. He's up in Canada, and I really like the marine phytoplankton product and the magnesium, because he was talking about the magnesium a little bit at the end of the show, and so we're going to do another entire show on magnesium.
Yes.
So that would be really fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
And at that point, he might have a big announcement. It sounds like he has something coming out this year.
That's right.
Some kind of change with something going on with the kelp beds or the plankton in the ocean. And he wasn't at liberty to really say, but he said after that information becomes available, he can share it. So I hope to have him on after that's out in the public.
Yeah, that would be really good.
Intriguing to me.
That was, I think, in June, right?
I think he said June.
Sometime in June?
He said June, if not, but by the end of the year.
June and by the end of the year. Okay. And we had, let's see, who else we had? We had a Free for All Friday show on episode 209. And that was a fun show.
That was a long show.
That was a long show. I think it was something like 2 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Was it?
It was over 2 hours, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you muted me.
Oh, I thought you were pointing to your throat.
Oh no, I should have, because I can't clear my throat today. But no, our shows our free for alls just go longer and longer every time, and we feel like we still don't get to everything.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we've got so much to get to. And so in let's see, February, who else did we have? Romania, and then we had
Romania's up, right?
Romania's up, and then we had Ian Clark, and then we had Andreas Kalker.
Yeah.
And then we had Dr. Richard Massey. We actually had Dr. Richard Massey. I'm almost done with his show. If you haven't heard Dr. Richard Massey before, he is an incredible guy. We really loved having him on the show.
I want him to be a regular. I love him.
Yeah, he's too good not to have on a regular basis. He does a lot of work. He's a former anesthesiologist and, gas passer, as he calls himself. And he is really...
Not passing gas. He gave gas to people. He put them out. That didn't sound good.
No,
gas passer.
That's what he says, though. Funny, huh?
That could be taken 2 different ways.
Yeah. But he's really amazing guy because I can't think of a guy who's made a bigger swing in terms of like medical doctor to natural doctor.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
He's like really, really interesting because he does a lot of work with family constellation therapy, and he also does a lot of work with Gestalt therapy as well as recall healing.
Gosh.
Yeah, and so the idea that he talks about is how our diseases, cancers, heart disease, diabetes, all these problems that we have really are just caused by some emotional trigger, an emotional response to something that we hold in our bodies. And when you get into a Gestalt session, he'll.
What does Gestalt mean?
I don't even know. It's like this particular type of therapy, and I think it has something to do with Carl Jung. And what it is like he'll have someone and he'll pretend like he'll tell you to pretend like you're the tumor. And you would act out what it is you're trying to do to you. And so he would put an empty chair in front of you, and that would be the tumor. And so he's got these really unique ways, and he's had such incredible responses or successes with people. Tumors healing within a month.
Gosh.
Crazy stuff.
I do think there's so much going on that level. Like, I don't think we've even touched we're just at the tip of the ice. It's just the tip of the iceberg. I think.
It's crazy. We have no idea what's really going on.
No.
I mean, there's so much going on, I think, in the world that we just have no idea what's actually happening on an energetic level.
Yeah.
We just have no clue.
No. I just started reading Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life. And that's going to be really fabulous as far as her own story. I'm just getting into it, but I've heard her speak on different podcasts and things about how she just went to therapy sessions where she punched pillows and talked to things and I mean, she just worked it out. Like,
Oh, wow.
and it started healing her. I mean, I have so much more to read on her, but there are things. I mean, imagine now that was 30 years ago or more.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine with all the things we have available at our fingertips now.
Well, we're going to talk about that because we came across this really interesting lady, Ina. What is her name? Ina.
Siegel?
Yeah, Ina.
Sendal?
Siegel.
Siegel.
Segal.
G-A-L.
Innasegal. Not Steven Seagal's sister, but
And not Bernie Siegel, who's Siegel, right? God.
she's a martial artist.
Right.
No, but she's an amazing person, and we just came across her on Guy MTV a couple days ago, an interview, and we'll
That
talk
was very
about her.
synchronistic, wasn't it? The
It
timing
was.
of that.
Yeah, well, so we'll talk about her after the break. We're going to take a little break here in a minute, but yeah, interesting stuff with Dr. Richard Massey. I should have that show up today. That was a 2-hour show.
Golly.
It's a 2-hour show or more. I think it was 2 hours and 20 minutes or something.
It's probably 2 hours and 22 minutes to be.
Yeah, and 22 seconds. The way our lives been
Our
going
lives
lately.
are running.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Wow.
But I really liked, he's got this kind of approach that he uses, which is really cool. It's, he does, what does he do? He does, the EM wave, and he combines that with the book called Recall Healing that you can get from quantumtyler.com. And that's, Dr. Peter DeWitt, who we had on our show, and they both do Recall Healing. And there's this book, it's about $70 that you can get from Peter DeWitt's office. They don't sell it on Amazon.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Huh.
And you can get this book, and it will convert every physical trauma in the body to an emotional response or to an energetic situation. And so you can line up whatever physical ailment you're having with this emotional trigger. And then, so that kind of gives you, it's sort of like the coordinates on a map, like it tells you exactly where to look. And then you can use the EM wave to tell you what parts of your life you're living in your heart.
That
which is-
EM wave is considered that heart math thing you wear, like that little clip.
It's a little clip that you put on your ear. Yeah, and it tells you if you're living, it measures the sympathetic nervous system and the heart rate variability response in your heart, and it measures that, and it compares it to something else in your body as well. And so it monitors whether or not you're living in the heart. And so I've heard Dr. Massey talk a few times, and he'll say, anytime that he has to explain something, for example, like if someone puts him on the spot and he has to explain something, he'll like his EM wave will be in the red. So the red light will be on.
Okay.
And it's telling him that he's in a stress response.
Huh.
His body's in a stress response, and he's not living in the heart. And so, and there'll be other times where he'll be talking or doing something and it will be green. And that's because he's living in the heart. There's no stress response. So you can get a sort of a readout every single day, how long you've been living in the heart and not stressed. And you can tell which situations you're stressed in. So, how if someone says something to you, like, how if a guest recently will say to you, Kate, what do you think about this or something?
Yeah, and your heart starts going. You're like,
Yeah, or like the teacher calls on you in class,
Right.
and you've been drooling because you're sleeping on,
You have been drooling. I never drooled. I was never sleeping.
not in the back of class.
No.
So, and then all of a sudden your head comes up.
I was
and
too
your-
afraid.
Your
Right.
heart starts beating.
Right.
Well, that would be a stress response, and you can find out every area of your life where you're like that. And so you could quickly get to understand, where you're leaking stress and where the stuff's happening.
Oh my gosh.
And then you can measure that, and then you can start making choices based on, I can't be in these situations. I feel fine. I don't know why I feel okay, but this is telling me that I'm in an autonomic, stressful response. So it's pretty interesting.
That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. That might be one of the most complex situations and what am I
Devices,
trying? Devices offer, like that the average person can get a hold of. It's
Yeah.
not like you have to go into a sleep center excuse me, or any kind of thing to like go get tested or monitored. It's like,
Right.
and no one knows your body better than you. I mean, that's so cool to be by yourself in those moments, to see what it is, to really tune in to your heart, what's really going on.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm not ever myself completely when, you know, like when you go to the doctors and they take your blood pressure.
Yeah.
Just that. I can change that by my thoughts,
yeah.
you know? But if I'm at
Yeah.
home doing it, it wouldn't bother me at all. It wouldn't be raised.
Yeah, because you're sitting in a doctor's office, you're a little stressed,
Sure.
right?
Just stresses you out. It's not funny.
It's not accurate either. If
It's not
that's
accurate.
blood pressure getting tested at that time, or like, you know, it happens with me if I'm in the doctor's office, or I have been in the past, where they put the little stethoscope on you or whatever, and they put the thing on your chest and tell you to take deep breaths. You know, your heart's beating kind of erratically because you're
Right.
thinking to yourself, okay, I want to have a good output, so
Right,
you're
right.
stressed about having a good result.
Right.
You know, it's like
And
this-
they'll tell you, take a breath. Take a breath. You're like, I'm not ready to breathe. It's not natural. You can't catch your breath.
you can't catch your breath.
I'm like, stop telling me when to breathe. Just
I'm
let
gonna
me breathe.
pass out if you keep telling me. To breathe like that.
You know why? It's probably because there's 7 other people in their little rooms. They don't have time.
Oh, that's
I'm
right.
like, you can't hurry someone's breathing. Like, you're not going to get a real reading.
I know, right?
That drives me nuts.
So if you want to listen to that show, it's not posted yet, but if you're listening to this in the future, you can check that show out with Dr. Richard Massey. He's at extremehealthradio.com/210, I think.
Okay.
And you can get that EM wave. I put a link to it on the site. It's extremehealthradio.com/EM, E and then M as in Mary, EM wave, all one word. extremehealthradio.com/emwave.com, and that'll just redirect you. You can get these things on Amazon.
How much are they?
$179, I think.
Okay.
There's a couple different models.
Interesting product, huh? Or machine, I guess I should say.
Yeah, it's good because what I liked about it is it's kind of a self-diagnosis thing. And you can kind of learn how your body works by using these tools.
Yeah.
And you can get to a point where you don't have to run off to a doctor. You know, you don't have to run off to a doctor like that, you know. So,
Yeah, and it seems like you can get real credible results in different. And what I like about it, it's like wearing a heart monitor for 38 hours or 36 hours, 24
Yeah.
hours. It's like it can capture anything at any time in your life, all the ups and downs, all the emotional. I mean, what's going to be more telling than something like that actually monitors where you're deriving from, like where you're living out of.
right.
Your heart or your emotions. That's just
Or
wild.
if you're stressed, and you know, you may be stressed while you're at work or while you're in certain specific situations at work, for example, that you have to be in, and so you can really get to the bottom of that and get to the bottom of that, and you can figure out like, okay, I'm stressed at this particular situation. Right now, I can't get out of that. Okay, so what can I do to not? So you can start working on situations in your life where you can't get out of. So, you know, it's not like you can just say, oh, I'm stressed at work, I'm just going to quit my job.
Right.
But you can start working with it now.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And it sounds like it's not just, that's true. It's not so much a way to find a coping mechanism as much as it is like, let's get to the root of where this is coming from and try to heal that up. Because we've all coped. I mean, I dealt with major anxiety stuff as an 8th grader, and I missed a lot of school that year, and I wasn't able to like be in a classroom with other people. It was too much and overwhelming to me. And when I would have these like panic moments of being in that classroom and feeling like stuck and claustrophobic and all those things that happen when you have anxiety. And I just really remember learning coping, because you have to just learn to cope. But by no means was it thriving. By no means was it healing. It was just getting through. And since that emotion probably wasn't properly dealt with, I still don't think it's been properly dealt with. That's why I'm having to revisit it in my adult years, going, wow, that was just shoved and coped. Coping is not healing.
Coping
is
is not healing, is it? When you think about it, it's really not.
And I think it was more damage to me. I mean, in retrospect, and you can only,
Because really
see
with
looking back. It wasn't
coping,
helpful.
aren't you just sweeping it under the rug?
You're stuffing.
Yeah, that's all you're
It
doing.
helped me. I mean, I got through what I needed to get through, but at that point, looking back, I don't think I needed to get through it. I think I needed some healing. I think I needed to process exactly what was going on and have the freedom and space in a safe place to do that. And I would have done it different, but
Wow.
yeah.
That's really weird.
You do the best you can with what you have at the time, but
That's really weird when you think about it. When you think about, think about people that cope through situations like that, and it's like, why am I learning to cope? I'm learning to cope so that I can get through some other toxic area of my life that's causing me ill health. You know what I mean? It's like,
Totally.
why not just get rid of the the toxic situation that you supposedly feel like you have to get coping with.
Yeah.
Get rid of that if you can, and then learn, and then get to the real bottom of the
learn
issue.
how to heal the rest.
So yeah, get rid
Cut
of the
out
coping.
what you can. Right.
Get rid of the coping and get rid of the toxic situation and heal.
Right.
You know?
I feel like I'm in the middle of that personally. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And I feel like I've cut out what I can. And that includes, oh my gosh, like I took this giant leap and cut out almost all my hours of my regular job. Financially, it's super scary. But I knew I had to just be done. So I'm down to 1 day a week, and I cut out what I could and what I felt, it's not comfortable, but what I felt I could get by with.
Right.
And then I thought, yeah, like the days that I'm still there, I'm still in coping. Like I don't want to be there. It's not good for my health. I don't enjoy it. It stresses me out. I won't sleep the night before. I mean, I'm coping, and people wouldn't know, but I know, and I still haven't healed. So it's funny that I still have major areas of my life that I'm looking at different, going, wow, I don't want this to be another 8th grade situation. I'm adding more things in to get to the root. And at least I know now that that's what I'm doing, and I'm not just surviving. I'm trying to make changes, and I'm really working on the deeper healing, but it's going to be a process.
Yeah, I think that's where it really comes in, is really try to figure out where the real problem is, and get rid of the root of the problem, and then at the same time start healing the wounds.
Yes.
Instead of coping so you could continue this crazy, stressful, toxic life,
Right.
It does not make sense.
Because what point is that? I mean, in my situation, what are you going to cut down, and you still have 1 day of just total complete things you hate, or that are chaotic, or that are so draining, or so like just taking.
Right.
That's not cool.
No, not at all. You don't want that.
No.
So I'm glad that you cut down to 1 day a week at the salon.
Well, thanks. I'm doing the best I can with a given situation, but I know that through other modalities of healing, it's going to be even better. But
oh yeah,
I had to do it. I had to. It was starting to literally, I think, affect me and my health and my life in a really negative way. And
I know
that stuff is no bueno.
Yeah, that salon was very toxic. Very toxic.
Besides the toxic chemicals and people think about, it is any people with a public service job where you just have people dumping on you and you never get to release the dumping, you take it on. It's a very major critical health problem.
Yeah, because you're taking on the energy and the stress and all these people's lives that come in. I mean, one after another. I cannot imagine people coming in and they're just dumping their family drama on you, their family sicknesses on you, and their illnesses on you, and they're squabbling between aunts and uncles, and coming in during holiday seasons.
Oh, it's, and 99.9% of it is so unnecessary. I'm like, holy cow. It's like, these are your problems. I mean, I know everything's relative, but really pick your battles. And then you have somebody come in after that silliness, and their, husband just passed away from cancer. And you're like, okay, like perspective, people. Like, but even that's hard to take on. I feel so deeply for people who lose people, or people who are sick. I mean, my heart just, absorb it all. And
you've had times where people have come in, someone will come in and they're got this promotion and they won the lottery. You've had people tell you crazy things, or all these incredible successes in their life, and all this stuff, and you're happy with them and celebrating with them, and and then the next client will come in and tell you their spouse just passed away or something.
Yeah, they just ran over their dog by accident. I mean, I've had horrible things.
It's like these ups and downs, and it's not just your job. Everyone,
it's not just me. I'm not the only person who we all have that.
But man, these things are getting imprinted into our energetic fields, I think.
Sure.
And we're taking on, whether we know it or not.
Yeah.
The energetic imprints of the emotions. I mean, where do those emotions go?
Well, and when you know it, that's one thing. When you don't, imagine how much I think I know I'm taking on. Imagine what I'm taking on that I don't know.
I know.
That is frightening.
Yeah. Because think about people like paramedics, or think about people like people that work at the morgue,
Oh, yeah. Or
like
chaplains, or anybody who's right there in the face of trauma and
that can't be good.
Tragedy. No.
That can't be good.
No.
I mean, that's just talk about taking on an energetic vibration that's going to have some sort of adverse effects at some point. It's going to catch up with you.
Right.
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 Crazy, huh?
Yeah. Ooh.
I'm so glad that you're like I told you the other day, I'd rather have no money coming in and you not working at that job. You know?
I know. Thank you.
I would. I mean, it's just,
it's so hard.
at this point, it's not about, I'd rather just go live somewhere, you know, somewhere else in a box, you know,
Thanks.
than for you to have to do that. So
Thank you.
I hope that in the future we can get you completely out. That's the goal.
Thank you. I'm trusting. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why I took this leap. It feels like a big flying leap off a cliff with no parachute, but I just know God has something and it's going to be okay.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Thank you for that, though. I know your support is huge.
Yeah, yeah.
And everybody. I mean, gosh, you guys listening make it possible. And
Yeah.
don't feel sorry for us, but it is a trying time. You know, it's risky and it's something we're not used to as far as how we've been able to survive this long. It's like you feel like you're cutting off your air supply.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And for us too, we're not very much like, you know, people that rely on other people to help them,
No.
you know, and so we're always, you know, doing our own thing and always supporting our own lives and things. And so for us to rely on the listeners, it's really backwards for us, you know, so it's,
And we don't like it. We don't like asking for support, but
yeah, it's
this is what we feel called to do. So I guess just putting it out there, we're gonna be provided for.
it's going to be awesome. Yeah, it's going to be so good. And we have so many great things coming up this year for
I know.
Extreme Health Radio.
It's a great year.
All right, so we're going to take a little break and we're going to run an ad for our favorite blender and the Vitamix blender. It's
Ours
awesome.
is about to wear out, I think. We've already had it. We've
Probably-
taken it in to get a new little motor or something.
No, we had to put a new,
was it bearings?
there's
or
like a
something?
washer on the bottom
Oh.
because I think that we made too many ice creams in it.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. But that was after
We've
probably,
had it for like 10 years.
yeah, that was after 10 years.
It's
and
crazy.
It's still going strong.
I know. I love that.
I know.
Yeah, we use ours literally probably 4 times a day between the two of us.
Yeah, it's awesome. I just had some friends on Facebook saying, you know, asking about what they recommend or what I recommend, a Vitamix or a Blendtec. And I love the Blendtec. I think it's better than the Vitamix in every way.
Do you?
I do. But it doesn't have a tamper.
Oh, right. That
And
thing.
the tamper is what makes the Vitamix.
Well, right. If you don't have a tamper, like I've tried to blend up things without that in there. I'll have like a half a banana just like sitting in the middle of it.
I know, right?
Like I'll be drinking my smoothie. This is so creamy. What the? Half a banana, totally untouched, like
Frozen.
And it was in there for like 30 seconds. How does it not pulverize? So
I know,
if you don't
right?
have the tamper to like,
You got to have the tamper.
oh my
But
god.
the Blendtec is an awesome. It kind of just depends on what you are into and what you know what your goals are and how you want to use it. But we sell both of them in our store. But personally, I kind of lean towards the Vitamix just because it has that tamper. If Blendtec ever comes out with a one with a tamper, I'm all over that thing.
Yeah, no kidding. That'd be marrying the two.
Yeah, they're both just incredible machines. Anyway, we're going to run this little ad so we can get up and jump around here on the rebounder. But we'll be right back after this break. So a few years ago when I was working for this company, it was a really small company, and I had been wanting a Vitamix blender for years and years and years, but they're so expensive, and I just hadn't saved the money at that time to get one. And so as a Christmas bonus, they knew that I loved the Vitamix, so they got me a Vitamix, the 5000 blender. And that thing is so incredible. It was right at the beginning of my raw food journey, and I was using it about 3 times a day, really. Today, I still use it about twice a day to make blended smoothies and things like that. But the Vitamix blender is really, really great. And if you go to extremehealthradio.com/Vitamix, that will redirect you over to there, and then you'll be able to purchase that, and we'll get a commission for your order. And you'll also get free shipping, too. So that'll be great for you if you're interested in saving about $25 on the shipping. And with the Vitamix, you can make sauces and dips and bread. You could make ice cream with it. I've done a lot of ice cream. You can just make the most incredible things. And it's my favorite because it's got a tamper on it. And you can put ice and frozen berries and avocado and some honey and things like that, and with no water at all, and you have that tamper, and you can make the most amazing ice creams with it. So the Vitamix is my favorite blender of choice, and if you're in the market to buy one, I would greatly encourage you to do so if you have the money for it. And if you do it through us, through extremehealthradio.com/Vitamix, I'll get a little commission for it, and you'll get free shipping. So it works out for you and for us too. So if you're in the market, please do it through us. That'd be really cool. And you're going to love this thing when you get it. You're going to fall in love with it. You'll never go back to a regular blender again. So check that out, extremehealthradio.com/Vitamix, and I hope you enjoy it.
100% listener supported. Extreme Health Radio. Opening minds and transforming lives worldwide. Join the show now on Skype at Extreme Health Radio or call 949-505-9585. Hello. That's 949-505-9585.
All right. If you guys have any questions about that Vitamix blender, feel free to send an email in to me if you'd like, Justin at extremehealthradio.com. If you have any questions about how it works or how we use ours, please do that. And also, I'm not sure if I mentioned in that commercial or not, that you guys get free shipping if you buy through our link.
Oh, good information.
extremehealthradio.com/Vitamix. So you'll get free shipping. I think it's about $30 that you save.
That.
Yeah. So it's good. Really incredible machine. So check that out. And as the lady said, feel free to call us on Skype if you have any health-related questions. This is Free for All Friday show, so we can take your questions as well as join the live show on the chat room, and you can interact with us that way. And between Kate and myself and the live listeners, the chat room, and the forum, we should be able to answer your questions and pool together our collective energies and knowledge. So
hopefully offer you something.
yeah. Hopefully offer you something. And so let's see. We had we had Dr. Massey on, right? And
yeah.
Then we had Andreas Kalker. Talk about a smart guy, huh?
Good night.
He's living his life over in Barcelona.
Yeah.
How about that?
We did see a picture he put on his video camera in Skype at the beginning.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh. Behind him, it just looked like these beautiful, like, Spanish archways. Like this, like, really cool, rounded, just beautiful. I mean, if it felt like looking at, like, 10 feet behind him, I felt like I was in Spain. I'm like, gosh darn it, these Spanish people. These Barcelona people.
I know. He's German, I think, right?
He is German.
But he speaks fluent Spanish. Incredibly smart guy.
What
PhD.
Right? What doesn't he do?
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about, that guy.
Yeah.
I really think that he's on to something, and he's got this whole protocol. He's working with autism. He's working with scalar energy and plasma energy, and these alternative.
What the heck is scalar energy?
I have no idea. I just saw that on his website. Scalar energy and he's just working with all these alternative energy things, and he's a PhD, and he's been working with MMS and helping with autism, and he's been reversing autism in these kids through these special enemas and clearing out the parasites. Isn't that crazy?
That parasite thing, it just keeps coming up in our lives. It just seems so prevalent.
Mm-hmm.
Good night. We all have parasites, don't we?
Oh, gosh, yeah. So that episode will be, I think, 211. Yeah, that's right. It'll be episode 211 as soon as I get around to posting that. And if you're listening to this in the future, it'll be available. Mm-hmm. But you can listen to him, and it's just so interesting, the parasite connection. You know, we were talking with him during the show, and I said to him, what do you think people should do if they want to prevent their children from having autism? And
I don't remember his answer. What did he say?
Yeah, his first thing was people should do a parasite cleanse before they get pregnant.
Oh, I do remember that.
Because these things are passed through the placenta, and they're finding parasites in babies, already they're brand new babies. Where are they getting these parasites from?
Well, that did make me wonder when he said that. It's like you and I, we've thought about that, and, reading the GAPS diet. I mean, you can pass so many things to a new baby from what the parents have. Mm-hmm. And we know that about like our future offspring, but I forget that we are those babies. Like sometimes I go, why do I have these parasites? Well, I probably got them from my parents. Like I forget that connection. Mm-hmm. Like it might have not even been the raw piece of chicken I ate or the unwashed grape.
Right.
I could have eaten the worst things and not gotten parasites from them and got it just because it got passed down. Like,
isn't that wild?
I forget that forget that you get that. Yeah, that we are those babies.
Yeah, that's
all
us.
Grown up with these problems.
We just didn't happen to get autism. But
right.
So he was talking about this really interesting connection between autism and the parasites. And what he was saying was interesting, that the parasites somehow, if they're left alone, they're going to cause you health problems, obviously, if they grow and proliferate to an extent that you have, too many of them. But he was saying there's no way to live on planet Earth and not have a parasite. I mean, we all have them.
Right.
But he was saying the problem is that when the children get the vaccinations, there's some sort of interaction between the vaccination and what that does chemically to the parasites, and it somehow causes them to go to the brain and shut down the brain or something. It breaks the blood-brain barrier. And so if the kid has lots of parasites but they don't get vaccinated, the chances of them displaying symptoms of autism are much lower, even if they have the parasites.
So it doesn't activate it, kind of. It's like
so the vaccines just kind of turn it on.
Wow.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
And so I suspect, too, there's something going on with pregnant mothers and having them use cell phones and get sonograms and all these things where they're bombarding the baby with these, frequencies, and that's going to cause things to happen. So it's really interesting, the work he's doing with parasites, and it comes off the show that we did in episode 203 with Professor Valinsky and getting those parasites out with the protocol.
Oh, Valinsky.
Yeah, he was an interesting
And they
guy.
know each other, Valinsky and Kalker.
Yeah, they know each other quite well.
It sure does make you want to, what's done is done. And, for people who've already had kids and didn't know any of this, like we would have very well been if we had started a family earlier than this. There's things, it's so neat to know there's so many things you can do after. And it's not ever like, quote, too late to do anything.
Yeah.
But it is neat also to have this information out there for people like us that are, we still have that coming and we can prepare a little bit better.
Right, because I would have
feel so good knowing you have that option.
Yeah, for a while there, we're talking about doing some heavy metal cleanses, which we'll do, but also now I want to do a parasite cleanse before we get pregnant.
I do too.
Big
time. We're talking about doing the Marcus Rothgrans. Stella in the chat room said that's exactly what she's wanting to do too, the 3-month one.
Oh yeah.
But we've been talking about throwing that around and trying to do that in the next little bit here.
I'm wondering, has she said she tried it yet or no?
She said she's been meaning to do it for 3 months. So
yeah, it's pretty. See, the thing about the Andreas Kalker, he's got a 39-page protocol that he's written up on his website that's available for free. AndreasKalker.com. We'll put a link to that. But he's got a 39-page protocol for parasites, and the same with Valinsky. He's got this 5-stage enema thing, doing enemas with milk and salt, and
that was something I'd never heard before. Kind of starve off these things, or something about the combination kills them off, and
something about the combination, and so. For us right now, it's a little bit much because we can't be doing, all these enemas every day and stuff like that. So we're going to start off with the Marcus Rothgrans one. And then there's also one that puts out by Ejuva, and we haven't done that one yet. But,
there's
so many.
I want to do them all. I want to just cleanse my whole body.
Hey, what do you think about walking barefoot on the grass?
Gosh, that's another conversation you and I had. It's like you
right?
have the David Wolfs and all the people talking about how important it is to ground yourself and wet soil, wet sand, ground, any patch of grass, and then you get onto a site like Andreas Kalker's, and you're like, oh my gosh.
Because he talks about how parasites
never put bare feet, never do this, never go here, never.
Yeah.
But, he also did, I don't know if he talked about it on the show or after, because we were saying, oh my gosh, we kiss our dog, all the stuff. And he said, well, I have animals too. You have to live your life.
You can't live in a bubble.
No, and I assume that's also like, as long as you're taking care of yourself and maybe you're walking barefoot, that you're, you're trying to, your best to have your immunity build up. You're not going to contract so many of those things as a person who's super weak, just like maybe rolling around in dog infested, you have to also be careful about where you're walking barefoot,
Yeah, because he was saying any park where a dog has gone to the bathroom, you're going to have parasites that are going to be living in the grass because these things these eggs and larvae don't get killed. And so when you're walking along like we do, through the grass with bare feet in the summertime, to get that electrical charge from the ground through your feet and to get grounded, what a great thing that is. But then also...
And you hear that's so healing.
Yeah.
Just by itself.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, it's just like everything. There's so many things to consider, like, eating a diet, like, like, what's his name? There's a guy on our show, I forget what his name was, a doctor, but he was saying you just basically can't eat high up in the food chain. Not because he thinks that the human body shouldn't eat meat, but in today's world, these animals are being exposed to radiation from Fukushima. So, like, he was saying, I think meat is great. It's a great food and people should be eating it, but I don't recommend it to anybody. And so it's like, it's not as if we're debating whether or not the human body is designed to eat meat. It's just that you can't do something like that in today's world.
Yeah, it's just everything has changed. Like
Yeah.
it's not the quality. It's
That's the
been
quality.
altered.
Yeah. So what were you saying? Someone in our
Well,
Sorry.
I'm laughing because I can't. I've been writing to people in the chat room for the last 2 minutes, and it won't let me. It erases everything I'm writing.
really?
So I don't know what's going on there, energetic block. But
Oh, wow.
I'm laughing because we had a guest in there for a second that wrote in about the song. We always want to know what the heck the guy is saying on the banjo. He says Tallahatchie is
Oh.
a river in Mississippi.
Is that what he's singing?
He must be saying Tallahatchie. That makes sense. I couldn't even understand what the heck the guy was saying. So I'm like, yes. And then guest 327 left the chat room, so I couldn't thank him. I was like, thank you.
Oh my
and it
gosh.
wouldn't let me.
How funny is that? It's like he
Thank
just
you.
comes in, drops a little knowledge, and then leaves.
I know. And you see his little round picture here, looking like Abe Lincoln. He looks very wise.
Yeah, he does. He does. Put a little gray in
Thank
that
you
beard.
for that, whoever that was.
So you think that's a line in the song, Tallahatchie?
I think that's what he's saying. He's all Tallahatchie.
Oh, wow.
Roo. I don't know what he says after that, but
You know what you should do after the show? I'm going to Google that and see if that comes up as a song lyric.
that would be amazing.
Find out who that guy is. We need to go visit that guy.
I love that guy.
He's part of our show.
He is part of our show. We've had him since the beginning. We had no idea what the heck he was saying.
I know, right?
So there, we got an answer.
That's awesome.
We got an answer.
Our listeners, man, not only do they know a lot about health and nutrition,
They
but
know a lot
song
about
lyrics
music.
too.
Or they know how to decipher
I know.
hard
amazing.
to understand songs.
That is amazing.
Maybe they Shazammed it.
Oh, yeah. That app that you can put on cell phones.
Even Shazam would be funny though, to have to pick up on what the heck that guy was saying.
I know.
If we couldn't understand it for the last year and a half, then
How could Shazam?
but who knows?
So who do we have after Andreas Kalker? We had, Jeff Melcher.
That's
from,
right.
what was it?
Olive. Earth.
East Park Research. Yeah, East Park Research. Amazing. What a crazy thing. We're talking after the show about, because his whole thing is the olive leaf extract and the oleopropin.
Oleuropen.
Oleuropen.
Oleuropen. Isn't
And
that
it
a great name?
increases the immune system by some incredible percentage. And so we're talking all about the olive leaf and how magical that is for the body. And so we're just surmising on the show how interesting it is that it seems like all of the ancient texts, the Bible, and I bet you if you look at the Quran and other ancient manuscripts, I bet you they talk about the olive leaf too. And we were talking when we were driving that what a crazy thing. Like, what is it about that tree? Did they know back then that the olive tree is going to be medicine for people? I mean, how did they know that? You know? Because
Well,
whether or not any of these books are true or not is irrelevant. They're old,
Right.
right?
we were driving last night. Where were we going? Somewhere to the bank or something.
Yeah.
And we were at a stop sign. And we were talking about the olive, branch, and the significance of it throughout the Bible. And you said whether or not someone believes the Bible is true or not, it's old.
It's old.
It's old. It just hit me as so funny. You're like, that's so true. It
I
was
mean,
so
you can't
funny.
take that away from
You
it,
can't
right?
take that away from it. But there is a big. I mean, gosh, I want to do a search now on all the
Benefits of
ancient texts of
Oh, yeah.
how often the olive branch is
because like in the story of
plays a part in that.
what was it, Noah and the ark, right?
Right.
And they were in the ark, and what happened?
He sends out a
dove, right?
dove to go get, to show that there's life out there, that it's basically like they're not still in the flood zone. Like, that's okay. And the dove comes back carrying an olive branch. And that was interesting because when I went online and searched, dove, olive branch, Noah Ark, it brought up, just the significance of that means that tree survived. I mean, for something to survive.
How did
a
it
flood,
survive that?
It's insane. It had like magical properties in order to withstand, the whole earth being apparently covered in water.
Deluged.
Deluge.
And then why a dove and why an olive? I mean, of all the trees. I mean, there's something there. I don't know what it is, but so I suspect there is something there with the olive leaf extract. And the way they're doing it is it's got this proprietary process where it has, I think, like 70% of the oleopropin or whatever it's called.
Oleuropen.
Oleuropen.
See?
I'll never get that right.
Oleopropolis.
I'll get
Oleuropen.
oleopropolis.
Oh, yeah. That's what I loved about his little way to remember it. Oleuropen.
Oleuropen.
He said, for those from Texas.
Say it with a
Oleuropen.
Texas accent.
And I, of course, brought up the fact that I think we should rename it
Yeah, his
Y'all-
whole business.
Y'all all European.
Y'all all European. That'd be great. It would be such a catchy. I mean, the name of that business would just go viral. It'd be so catchy.
Would go viral.
Y'all all European. I mean, who?
Y'all European.
Y'all European. Who wouldn't forget that?
That's just as confusing as Tallahatchie.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was an interesting show with Jeff Melcher. That was episode 212, I
Correct.
believe. Is that right?
Correct.
Because we're on 213 now?
Right.
Interesting, huh? Mm-hmm. So we were watching the Gaiam TV the other day while we're sitting in our sauna. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
How could you not? And we came across this lady named Ina Segal. Siegel?
I don't know how you say
Segal?
it. Sure. Segal.
And she's
Segal.
a Russian lady that immigrated to Australia and has this incredible story of healing some of her digestive issues as well as back problems using sort of this energetic medicine, the yoga of the hands and these types of things.
That was a trip. It reminds me of Louise Hay on crack, kind of.
Yeah, it's like a newer version of Louise Hay's "You Can Heal Your Life."
And she said that too. You know, she said that she felt like she really resonated with Louise Hay and her work, and found out a lot, but thought that there had to be another like step even farther. And
Yeah.
she that's what her whole book is about. But she sounds like she got hit with like this crazy gift like out of the blue.
Out of the blue. We'll put a link to her website,
Yeah.
Ina Segal,
Yeah.
on this page. But yeah, she came across this gift that she had of having this intuition
Yeah.
and healing. And what was the story? She was
She was with her friend, I think.
writing a book, right?
Yeah, writing a book, and they were collaborating on stuff, and she happened to look up, and over her friend's head, she saw like a cartoon drawing of a liver.
Uh-huh.
And she was tripping out, and she started laughing and said something like, I don't know, this is really strange, but do you have something going on with your liver?
Yeah.
And her friend was like, how did you know that?
How'd
I
you
actually
know that?
do. I've always had liver stuff since I was, very young, and started talking about it. And she explained that she had seen, I think, the giant liver picture, and that started everything. She said she would walk down the street and just have these, like, in the subway, all these crazy,
She would feel what's going on with people.
their energy. She would know exactly, yeah. And she said she had kind of had to have a boundary with it because it'd be so kind of overpowering at
Yeah.
times. But yeah,
Interesting,
and then she took that all into I don't know how you say it. She not only went Louise Hay style and talked about went into, from what she gathered, the certain organs and things that you had correlated with certain diseases and digestive problems or whatever you had going on.
Right.
Yeah, like you said, she would also teach yogic positioning with your hands to hold in certain ways in order to heal your body for 20 minutes at a time. I mean, just this whole energetic connection.
And she was using color.
Color therapy was huge.
Yeah, she was talking about using orange to clear your lungs and throat, if you get sick.
Yeah. This girl's on it.
Yeah, she's really interesting. And what
She's
I liked
really
about her
interesting.
is in her book, she's got this whole thing where she goes through every organ of the body and tells you how to heal it,
Right.
which is really cool because if you're dealing with a specific organ, but she gives you energetic things to do, dietary things to do, emotional things to do, and all these different ways you can heal that particular organ
Yeah.
on many different levels. And what I like about what she was talking about is it empowers the person. You know what I mean? Because she was talking about
take healing back into your own hands.
yeah, because we don't have to go to a doctor to heal. We can heal ourselves if we just know how to get in touch with ourselves,
Right.
And that was I think that's where everything's going,
Yeah.
I think so.
It definitely makes you dig deep and go, do I believe that? Do I really believe that?
Yeah.
And I do, but it's still totally a foreign concept to me.
When it comes down to you or me, it's different when it actually comes down to needing to heal,
Right.
right? Because you
Right.
believe it
For
intellectually.
other people,
Yeah.
you're like, of course that person can do that. But then you're asked with the question, do I believe it?
Or if something happened to me, could I?
Right.
Yeah. But it is interesting. I think everyone does have the innate power to heal,
I believe so too.
I
am finding Louise Hay's book very interesting. I'm not even halfway through, but interesting.
What does she say? She would have these all-out sessions, like a punching bag kind of thing with.
I haven't got to that part of the book, but I remember her speaking on some podcasts and stuff that she would, scream into a pillow. She'd punch things. She really got it out, but it sounded like it wasn't just typical therapy. It was also doing things like, sitting your organs in a chair and talking to them. I mean, it sounds like I don't know for sure, but it sounds like she exhausted every possible way to heal in a good way. It wasn't like, I mean, I make it sound so violent, like she's fighting something, which isn't a good way to heal, but she was open to any modality that came her way, and she tried it all, and she really obviously has done amazing things with her life. And
I think that
she's close to 90 now, and she's still healing and still offering so much back to the world,
and still learning new things.
She's playing piano, I guess. Learning piano, learning art. I mean, that's super cool. She's a fascinating woman.
Yeah, and I like people that are well-rounded. Like, they understand the importance of the physical body and diet, nutrition, but then they also see the importance of the energetic side, too, and the emotional side, and how we store emotions. Because sometimes, too, people can get, I think, polarized the other way, and all they deal with is the emotional and all that, when the person's also eating something toxic that's, so you kind of have to cover every area of healing and for life,
I completely agree.
Yeah, it's weird, huh?
It is weird.
All right, you want to take a little break here?
Let's do it.
All right. So, Ina Segal.
Ina, she's fascinating. You guys should check her out.
She's fascinating. All right, we're going to run a little ad for the Yoga Trapeze, and I don't know if you guys have seen this thing yet, but it's a pretty cool way to elongate your spine and do inversions. And if you're really interested in this, you could do upside down coffee enemas in it.
Which, when we get back, we will speak more about.
Okay. So we're going to run the ad for the Yoga Trapeze, and we'll be right back after this break. So I've been following a guy named Lucas Rockwood for years and years, and he's a yoga instructor and a raw foodist, and we were finally able to get him on our show on episode number 10. So if you want to listen to his interview, it's really good. But he's a really good guy. We're honored and proud to be supporting him and his products at Yoga Body Naturals. And he's got this really cool product called the Yoga Trapeze. And you can check it out at extremehealthradio.com/trapeze. And that's TRAPEZE. It's really cool, like a yoga swing that you can install in your house or in your garage or anywhere. It's really, really cool. It helps to invert the body, and you could do back bends, and it's really, really an amazing thing for elongating your spine and relieving back pain. But the power of inversion is really, really critical. It's really sold and marketed as something that will help your back, but the power of inversion is really, really great. And people like David Wolfe and lots of other people talk about how powerful it is to invert the body for some portion of the day, for as often as you can. And it's really cool. It comes with a bunch of videos that teach you how to install it. And it's got a bunch of practice videos too that comes as a bonus. He gives you a 2-month supply of this Liquid Energy B, which is like $25 normally. And he's got 108 Super Juices ebook that's normally $30, and also a Yoga Trapeze chart that's normally $20 that he throws in as for free. And you can get them in purple, two-tone purple, or two-tone orange. And the cool thing is that you can try it for just $1 for 30 days. And it's really, really a cool thing. If you go to extremehealthradio.com/trapeze, you can learn more about it and watch the videos of him using it and demonstrating why it's so good and all of that stuff. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, elongating the spine and using inversion to help heal your back and to have better posture and all of that, it's really something that you should look into. But before you look into it, listen to our interview with him in episode number 10 and just learn more about him and what his work is all about. And then go to extremehealthradio.com/trapeze if you're interested in getting this thing. And if you get it, let me know. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are about it and how it's benefited you and all that. So thank you for listening. And you can also check it out in our store too. So don't forget to check it out there. Thanks for listening, and let's get back to the interview.
All free shows, all the time, on Extreme Health Radio. Opening minds and transforming lives worldwide. Join our community today. Call using Skype at Extreme Health Radio or call 949-505-9585. That's 949-505-9585.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. This is extremehealthradio.com/213. Is that right?
You're so bad with numbers.
I'm so bad with numbers.
It is.
And for reference, this is Friday, February 28th, 2014, and it's an honor to be here with you. We've got lots to get to, lots of questions to get to. And I hopefully you guys are having a great day out there. It's a crazy stormy day here in Southern California.
Oh my gosh.
First day we've actually had a storm in a long time.
I can't believe it. Like the trees are blowing. Like it looks like a hurricane.
I know. It looks pretty crazy, doesn't it?
It's wild.
Yeah. So
3 days ago, we're laying on the patio getting a tan.
I know, right?
Right.
I also want to let you guys know that we're doing a monthly giveaway too this month, and I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew about that. It's with $168 worth of Morocco Methods products, and they make a raw, vegan, organic, wild-crafted hair care line of shampoos, conditioners, hair dyes, oils, and all kinds of really cool things. And there's $168 worth of product in this giveaway.
We are loving it. We have had a few ourselves, and actually we need to get more. But
yeah,
I'm loving that line.
Oh, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild crafted, and this guy he understands the chi of the body. He understands the moon cycles, and he picks the herbs and formulates the stuff under the full moon.
That's harvested at the right cycle of the moon.
It's amazing. He's a raw food guy too.
He's amazing.
Which is crazy, right? It's just awesome. And
he was ahead of his time. I mean, hairdressing and doing what he did in the 60s, or I don't think it was the 50s. I think it was the 60s.
Yeah.
Nobody paid attention to anything like that then. He's just been studying with shamans, and they call him the hair shaman, right?
Yeah, the hair shaman.
So you guys want to get in, sign up for that.
Yeah, you can do that. If you want to sign up, all you got to do is go to extremehealthradio.com/win, WIN. And then all you got to do is put your name and email. It's only for new subscribers to our newsletter list. And so if you've already subscribed, you can't be involved in the giveaway, but it's for new subscribers. And all you got to do is put your name and email address in, and then you can increase your chances of winning if you share. What happens is that they give you a special link, and if you share that on Facebook and Twitter, you'll earn more points, and that will increase the percentage of winning the prize. So that would be cool if you guys want to do that and join.
We sent off our Squatty Potty to our winner, and people are loving winning stuff.
Yeah, we just sent the Squatty Potty off
to Texas.
To Texas, that's right.
Garland, Texas. They're supposed to be receiving it today.
Do we have any mold growing in that thing?
Oh gosh.
In our kitchen?
That's a segue. Not at this moment.
No.
Just shocking. We did a home mold testing kit.
But it's only been 24 hours, right?
Yes.
Has it been that long?
Oh, it's been more. It's been like 30.
Okay. I'm shocked.
They say up to 92 hours or something. You can leave it and see what happens. But do you think we just didn't do it right?
No, because it says on there how to exactly do it, and part of the thing was to leave it without the cap on.
To let the mold spores gravitate toward it?
Yep, for an hour, and I left it for like an hour and 10 minutes.
Okay.
And so it had ample time to get mold spores. So
I'm really surprised.
Well, do you think that if there's no mold spores growing there now, do you think there will be?
You mean will be like in the future in this place as long as we're here? Or you mean the test that we just did?
Yeah, the test we just did.
I don't know. I mean, after 3 days, I'd assume it's kind of done what it's done. And
that's a good thing.
Yeah. I know we were really convinced at the beginning of this week we had mold. It's weird because mold came up to us 3 different times in a day.
Oh, that's right. That's why we did it.
We're like, what are we supposed to pay attention to here? Is this a sign?
Yeah, because I always think, if something hits you 3 times, either in a day or in a couple days, that's the lesson. That's something we need to listen to.
Yeah, we didn't want to be stupid and not paying attention, so we paid attention. But
so, what were the 3 mold stories?
Well, gosh,
what were they? 2 of them were your friends, right?
2 of them were my friends. 2 friends I have had to move out of their places within the last week and a half because of mold, like major mold problems.
Uh-huh.
And that happened. And then a reader or a listener actually wrote into us and mentioned, hey, I listened to you guys talking about something in your bathroom where there was mold. Have you had your house tested for mold?
Uh-huh.
Because a lot of health problems could just be mold altogether.
Uh-huh.
So we kind of paid attention.
Right.
Because you and I, both had some, not major stuff, but some challenging physical stuff. And we thought, man, wouldn't that be crazy if it's just mold?
Uh-huh. Yeah, because I had a little case with a little
bronchial
rendezvous with the bronchitis, didn't I?
You're cheating on me with Bronc.
with Bronc.
Yeah, no, but that thing lingered, and we know we have it in our bathroom, but that kind of mold's different than mold behind your walls in your house, the creepy mold. But we haven't seen any signs of water damage or any of that. But we live in an older place, and you always think older places, you kind of worry about mold and lead and all that stuff. But
yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. There could be a parasite connection too.
Yeah.
Really interesting, huh?
Mm-hmm. Let's hope and pray though it's not mold.
Let's hope and pray. So we got a couple listener questions to get to. Let's tackle some of these guys here real quick.
Okay.
You want me to go first?
Please.
Okay. Okay. Someone wrote in about. Let's see. It was a comment on one of our shows that we had. It was a discuss comment from Emina. And so the show that she's commenting on is our show with Dr. Leonard Caldwell, which is episode 114. And she says, good job. These are things I already knew. For this reason, I saved my mom's life and mine. It's a hard fight. The fact is the world is full of idiots because the mother of idiot is always pregnant. I'm not sure what that means. This doctor is amazing, but the idiot people would rather to follow to those who give them chemo and kill them mentally. I would like to keep in touch with you. The world is filled with idiots. It's full of idiots.
Full.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, Dr. Caldwell, he was a great guy.
Dr. Caldwell is a great guy.
He was really good. I liked him a lot.
We put a link to his most recent, not most recent, but the most recent we've watched of him, the Gaiam episode with being interviewed with Greg Norrie.
Oh, George Norrie?
I'm sorry, George. Why do I keep calling him Greg?
Greg. Pretty similar.
George Norrie?
I don't know if we can post a link to that because Gaiam's a subscription service.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Like people would have to pay for that.
You're right. If anyone out there is on Gaiam, though, it's pretty amazing. Check out Chuck Norris. What's his name?
Gary Norris?
Gary
Noel?
That guy's name? Oh, God. Norris?
George Norrie.
George Norrie.
Close.
Check out George Norrie. Having Dr. Caldwell on his show. That guy, he's just so amazing. He's so motivating. He's so passionate about what he does.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for him. He has amazing statistics that he quotes that he's had working with people with cancer. And,
yeah, amazing.
I mean, beyond what you hear. And sometimes you just don't know if you believe it or not. But I want to believe it, and I love him.
Yeah, he's really good. We've been in contact with him recently over email, and he just gets right back to you.
Oh, yeah.
He's really just amazing. He's running this whole empire, and I'll hear back from him in a matter of minutes. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's such a good
guy. He really
just
his heart in helping people is completely right.
And you had a good conversation recently with Chris Kaler, didn't you?
I did have a good conversation with Chris Kaler. Yeah.
For those of you who don't,
this week actually.
What's that?
A couple times.
That's right. For those of you who don't know who Chris Kaler is, if you're listening to this and never heard of him, he's an energetic healer, and you can listen to our shows we've done with him. I think we've done 3 shows. 3 or 4?
Yeah. I don't know offhand the numbers, but.
And his website is chriskaler.net, and it's CHRISKEHLER.net. And we'll put a link on this show page, but, you work with him, and he's great, isn't he?
I do. Yeah, he's caused we always say this, but he causes quite the ruckus within our Extreme Health Radio community. People, he's a very popular show when we have him on.
Yeah.
He's just so almost killed myself there with a laptop. He's so interesting.
Yeah.
He's doing work. I know there's a lot of other people out there doing work like that too, but man, it's the first I've been exposed to work like this, and I've seen some pretty dramatic results in my own life. And we do have a lot of people writing in going, what the heck just happened?
We even turned our next door neighbor onto
did.
Yeah.
She's had many sessions with him, and he's brought up some very interesting things with her health journey. And he's doing some amazing work up in Canada, up in Winnipeg.
Yeah, and he had you working with the
neutralization ring,
right?
The tools that he has that are, they're just tools to help in your journey alongside what he's doing on an energetic
level.
But my gosh, these tools are very interesting.
I want to get that. I really want to get that pyramid he's got.
Yeah, that pyramid's pretty trippy.
Wouldn't that be cool to keep in your bedroom or something?
Yeah. From what we're learning about shapes and power of, natural healing, things like crystals and what we're learning, man. I never thought I'd be learning all this stuff.
I know, right?
It's a journey.
You never think back and just think in your life, and where life takes you. It's just amazing.
It is amazing.
Okay, so I think you have a question, don't you? Or do you want me to read another one?
You know what? Why don't you go for one more here?
Okay. Let's see. We got a listener question from our friend Bo.
Oh.
This is awesome. Okay, let's take this one really quickly. Bo, are you there? Can you hear us?
Oh, we got a call from Bo.
Yeah, but I can't hear her.
Oh.
That's no good. Let's see. I don't know what to do here. I see her picture and she's calling in, but I can't.
We can't connect her?
Can't connect.
Do I have to plug this in?
I don't think so, because we should be able to get the audio through what we have now. So I'm going to hang up, Bo, if you can hear me. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe if you can tell us. I will try.
Should I try to call her back?
Yeah, I'll try to call her back. Let's try that. For some reason, technology today.
And my whole laptop just completely shut down.
Did it?
Look at what it brought up here.
It's not
It
working?
shut me out of email and then brought up this screen.
Oh, my goodness.
What
Wow.
is going on?
Talk about technical problems here.
Right, we're having some issues here.
Yeah, weird. I'm not sure why. I'm calling her back, and
Okay.
she's not... I can't hear her.
Huh.
That's no good. Let's
Oh.
see. How do we fix this? Technology. Technology on the fly is not my biggest strong point.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, so she says here, we can hear you, but you can't hear us.
What is going on?
We just used this the other day, didn't we, Kate? Skype?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it should work, right?
Yeah, I used it yesterday. You want to try again?
Oh, you know what?
Did you have her muted?
I had her muted. There's only 65,000 buttons on this soundboard here that I've yet to be trained on.
Oh.
Good night. Don't hire me as a sound person. Whatever you do. If people are looking for a sound person, don't hire me. All right, let's try this again because she's calling in. Let's see. There we go.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, and here I am blaming technology.
Hello.
Hello.
Yay.
Justin had you muted.
Ah.
I'm so sorry about that. I had the whole channel muted. I don't know what I was doing.
That's all right.
How are you guys?
Yeah, good.
Awesome.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Daniel.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, awesome. We're all just sitting here connecting with you guys.
I know. For everybody listening, this is our friends over in the UK, Bo and Daniel and Victoria Cosmic.
Yeah, if you're interested in their stuff, I reference their Enema video quite often. And I'm pretty fascinated by it. It's cosmic33.com.
Yeah, you guys have caused quite the ruckus, apparently, with your Extreme Enema video.
Yeah, we're really happy with the response we've had, actually. I don't think we quite expected it so soon, but we're really grateful, and everyone's been really supportive and seems we've helped a lot of people, so it's been great.
That's awesome. Victoria, I saw that video, and I think it's got 100 and 200,000 views already.
Yeah, I've actually stopped checking now.
Really? Oh, my goodness.
Well, it's still climbing. I mean, Bo and I had been talking about it, and we're like, gosh, she did it in such a way. It's so cool that something's out there like that. Usually people kind of fade out, and then they come back saying, oh, I just did the enema. I was like, you had some guts to get out there and kind of put yourself out there in such a classy way and show people what it's like,
Yeah, it seems I did. Yes.
It seems you did.
And
I have to say, your daughter is so cute. I watched that video of her making that green smoothie, and talk about cute.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, she's jumping on board. She done us a little health and wellness expo the other day. We all had to sit in the living room, and she spoke about her very strong beliefs. So, watch this space. We've got a leader on our hands here.
That is awesome. That is so cool.
Got an indigo child on your side?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Daniel, we can't get enough talking about that yoga trapeze. What do you guys think of that thing? How long have you had it?
Probably about a year, and Emmy's the one that uses it the most, I think. Like, so great for kids.
Yeah.
And I use it mainly, like, I do a bit of movements on there, but I really just like inverting, It feels really good. It lengthens out the spine. So that's why I really love it. Do you guys use it, or?
Yeah, we don't use it. We have used it before in the past, but where we're living now is not really conducive to put one of those up. But I've used them before in the past, and so to kind of get around that, what I use now is a inversion table. But but they're not as good as the swing. I mean, the swing from what I've used before, the swing is just amazing.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, we drilled it into the ceiling. I hope our landlord's okay with that. But, and I was quite tentative because I hadn't really, I didn't really have a stud finder, and I was like knocking about with it. But it's managed to hold up, and Emmy just loves it. It's actually really good because Emmy broke her arm about I don't know, was it maybe 8 months ago?
Yeah.
And the doctor said to us, he goes, "Oh, yeah, you won't be able to straighten it. It'll always have a kink in it." And we're like,
it was a pretty bad break, and then it healed in the wrong place. So
yeah. But just sort of hanging on that and doing all her exercises, it's like fully straight now.
She's gave herself her own physiotherapy with the yoga swing.
Oh,
so
my gosh. Wow, you guys, that's a story.
Yeah.
And when I saw that video of doing an upside down enema, I thought the enemas I did were extreme until I looked at your video. That is incredible.
Yeah. It was actually our guru or brother on Hawaii, Robert Kazar, Dr. Kazar, that sort of I guess planted the seed in my head. I was like, he was talking about doing headstands, doing an enema. I was like, yeah, I was like, well, why not just do it on a yoga swing? And so, that's what threw us into it. But
that is so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just normal in our house. 6-year-olds making green smoothies. Daniel's hanging upside down having an enema. All in a day for us.
Oh, my gosh. That's hilarious. Oh,
well, for those listening, too, can you guys just share a little bit about how you three how the two of you cosmics ended up meeting Bo and just kind of that story? Because we find it really cool.
So we were in the chat room, actually, your chat room.
Our chat room.
We just connected in there. And
the forum?
The forum. Yeah, in your forum, your community. We connected in there and we just met up for coffees and we all got on really well.
Wow.
Started hanging out at the farmer's market, didn't we?
Yeah, at the organic farmer's market. And I'm doing a juice cleanse with these guys at the moment. So I've just moved in for a bit and we're on day 6.
Yeah.
How's that going for you guys?
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Do you find it easier to do it in groups? Like, obviously, it's probably way more motivating than doing it by yourself for those if you guys have done it by yourself before.
Yeah, I think so. And these guys are really good because I'll get up in the morning and there'll be juices made.
Yeah, that helps.
And do you pay them to do that, or?
No, we're just sharing the juicy love.
Yeah, we're sharing the juicy love.
No, we went to farmers market on Sunday and we picked up a load of organic and biodynamic produce, and we've just been doing it all week, and it's taken turns at the juices around, and it's been interesting because it's been a really hectic week for us in terms of doing work and filming and projects. Yeah. We've been all over London and we've just managed to just pretty stay level with it and not slip up and just stay with the juice. So it's been really good.
That is amazing. What kind of stuff what's been taking you over London? What kind of projects are you guys working on right now?
We've been doing some interviews. We've got our first organic juice bar opened, Juice Tonic in Soho in London. So that's really great for us to be part of that opening. And we've interviewed Marco, the owner of that.
Awesome.
So we've been doing that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we've just been setting up sort of interviews with places around London, detox centers, and what they're doing. We've been trialing some treatments. Today I went and did the it's like a fire infrared sauna, but it's called the Ayashi Dome. Is it called? Yeah. And it's
we've all had to go on that.
We've all tried it.
I love how you say you had to. I love that.
We're just detoxing.
Yeah, we're completely detoxing.
Yeah.
Wow.
You guys, that's so cool. For those that want to check you guys out, obviously we have thecosmic33.com and then we have myorganiclife.info. Is there any other websites you guys have that people could check out what you guys are doing?
Well, Victoria's just building hers right as we speak,
Yeah.
so that'll be out
A
in a
couple more weeks and victoriacosmic.com will be up and running.
Ooh, very exciting.
Yeah, it is. Exciting times, yeah.
I'll put a link to that in the future so people listening in the future can check that out.
So how many juices are you guys drinking a day right now?
I don't know.
I mean, it sort of it sort of varies, but generally about 3 liters. That's sort of what I go for, but that's what we've been hitting at probably. It sort of varies, I think.
Depends on how busy we've been.
Yeah.
We've all been pretty on the go, so we tend to just have a real big green juice in the morning to set us off, and then like sometimes it's just get a juice when you can. Luckily, we've been working in a lot of juice places,
So we get free juices.
That's a huge help.
Yeah. Wow. So Daniel, I was going to ask you, where did you get that little thing that you used to massage your liver in that video?
Oh yeah, the DMS, Deep Muscle Stimulator, that thing. I was first introduced to that in 2005 when, because I used to live in the States. I went to Oregon State University, and in the athletic training department, they showed me that there. And
Oh, wow.
it's a chiropractic tool, and it's from a guy that's based in Southern California. And it's so it's for athletic training and that type of stuff. And yeah, it's quite expensive. Like I think at US it's like $2,800, but it's really intense. It's good for your muscles. Like it's stimulating the lymphatic system. That's like what I use it for now. Whereas previously I was using muscle recovery and things like that. But it's like super good at like stimulating the lymphatic system. Just vibrates really hard and quite intense. I mean, I do it to Victoria. Like, explain your feeling on with it.
Yeah, I mean, I shied away from it for quite a long time. I'm getting used to it now, but it's a treatment, it's a therapy, and I think it's actually better when someone else does it for you as well.
Yeah.
Luckily I've got Daniel on hand here.
Yeah, so you could contact the guy. He's based, I think, somewhere in Southern California. And so I do it out here. I put it over. There's no one really has it here in the UK, and I do it for my friends when I was playing football and things like that.
Wow.
But really great tool to stimulate the lymphatic system. Just do it all over your whole body.
Good for cellulite with women as well.
Yeah,
that's always
really
a selling point.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, for women, they
like,
really
gets rid of cellulite. Yeah, give me some.
I
of
know,
that.
all over that. So what's the name of the guy that puts it out, or what's his website? Do you know anything about that?
I'm not sure I forgot his name. I mean, I used to chat with him quite a bit, but I'm just like blanked on it now.
We'll email it over to you.
Yeah, but it's a deep muscle stimulator. That's what it's called, the DMS.
DMS.
Yeah, it's really well built. It's like got a titanium head. It's like stainless steel. It's got a Swiss motor. So it's like a really high quality machine. And I know most of the professional teams in all leagues, it's across, all of those, the MLS and the NFL, lots of those teams have the machine on board. I have an athletic trainer friend that is at the Denver Broncos? Is that what you call?
Yes, Broncos, Denver.
Yeah. He's there, and he said they have like multiple ones. But so it's sort of it was catered for more sports people, but it's sort of any massage therapist would love that.
That's the first time we'd ever heard of it when we watched your video. We thought that was an incredible machine. We knew it had to be expensive.
Yeah,
but
I
we
love
thought,
stuff
wow.
like that.
Hey, we have a question that came in the chat room for you guys. What do you recommend for constipation? She has found herself a little dependent on the enemas. Have you guys ever come across that in your enema experiences?
Get juicy. That's what I say.
Gets it flowing again?
Yeah. You need to hydrate your body. So, lots of juicing.
Yeah. Juicing is just so good at like relieving digestion and all that all those blockages that we've managed to accumulate and give our body a chance to rest, that area. And the juice just breaks it all up. And then combining that with the enemas, that's like, that's a really good
constipation's
approach.
normally because of dehydration.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I've never had a problem, but that may be because before the juicing, I do a green juice every morning anyway, so that really helps.
Have you guys been doing the enemas alongside this juice cleanse right now?
Yep.
All of you. Okay, a bigger question: have you gotten Bo upside down in the trapeze yet?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, that's where its most benefit is doing that's what I've found the most benefit is doing the juice, because it clears that pathway, and then all the stuff that's obviously sticking on the walls and whatever's there. I mean, that podcast the other day with Alex Volinsky, that was enlightening, wasn't it?
Oh man.
Gosh, yeah.
That was crazy. That was really interesting. I'm really curious to try his 5-step stage enema thing. Did you get a chance to check that out at all?
No, I haven't. But I mean, just because that Gubarov guy is, in Russian, I haven't looked at like those patterns that he was talking about. But it is really fascinating, because I've been working on this like film idea for about the last year and a half, like researching this whole idea that energetically, we have these things inside us which have these taking, the parasites take, and that type of thing. And this, most people are flooded with all of these, organisms. And I think once you start to dump them out of your system, it really does change your mind. You're not getting all those chemicals being released for certain things and trying to control you at that level. So it's just fascinating, and I really like the fact that he referenced like the Essenes in the Book of Dead Scrolls. He seems like a really interesting guy.
Yeah, it's interesting to me because I figure, with me and my journey, I've found that when I started eating more mineral-rich foods and stuff like that, it seems like now that I look back, my mind kind of just opened up, and I was just more accepting of bigger ideas. And then imagine if my mind was able to have that kind of expansion just by eating more mineral-rich foods, more raw foods. I can't imagine if I were to really work hard at getting these parasites out. I can't imagine what level you could get to, with the expansion of your mind.
Yeah,
that's what we're trying to do right now.
I love it.
I think actually that's why we sort of started our channel, because you start eating all these raw foods and it's not just your body, it becomes so much about your mind as well. We just wanted to share it, but the people around us weren't necessarily wanting to listen.
Yeah.
So we were like, eat raw food and juice, and they're like, oh, leave us alone, stop. So then now we're sort of finding all these people who are interested, and we can just talk about it because it's very experiential. You can try and intellectualize it, but actually until you've really experienced it, you don't understand it. So we definitely feel that, definitely.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I don't think I've gotten any parasites out, and so I want to do some cleansing like that and just see where
it could take you,
how high I can go here.
Yeah, you guys are on the journey, huh? I love listening to your podcast, and you guys just, even the Free For All Fridays, I'm just sitting there listening to like what you guys are doing, and I'm so motivated by it. I'm motivated too, Justin, by the fact that you don't have a phone. I'm like, I am, because I'm so conscious towards all these like EMS everywhere. I'm having to like duck and dive through Wi-Fi's and phone signals. I'm in London. I'm just thinking, man, I gotta get rid of my phone.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
it is quite motivating, Daniel. I agree. I mean, it's hard for me. I feel guilty having one, because I hate that I have to have it right now, just for a little while longer until I'm completely out of my job. But I just look at him and his family. His parents don't have them. His brother doesn't have it, and I go, you guys are like a novelty. Like it's so encouraging to live off the grid that way.
Yeah,
it is the way forward. It really is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty weird, because it's a weird experience, because I've had a friend of mine gave me a phone for a long time ago, probably about 5 years ago, and he was really trying to encourage me to get one, and I had these strong opinions about having a phone, so I just said, okay, I'll take it, just to kind of keep them quiet. And it really was a weird experience knowing that at any time people can get a hold of you. And, if they did call you, then you had that stress of having to get back to them. And not ever having had one is, to me, it's such a liberating feeling. But it would be hard. If I had one, it would be hard to give it up, I'd have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I am motivated. I've actually changed my number, and there's not like, I got a new number, and there's not really, I don't know, I'd have to figure it out, like how I'd do it. Like, what do you do then? Obviously, you got a home phone, when you need to make calls, and,
I guess you just plan ahead more.
Yeah, plan ahead more. If I have to get directions somewhere, I'll write directions down, or both our home phones are connected to cords too, which is pretty funny.
Right.
We have no, so it's, you just kind of plan ahead more, and, it works out.
What I'm encouraged by too is like when you've talked about, Justin, like planning ahead, it does with cell phones for some reason. I'm sure you guys all agree because we all have them. I think it gives people an easy out to be able to change plans or be late because they can just send you a text or call you, and all of a sudden everything's all different. But when you plan something and you're going to meet that person in an hour and you can't get a hold of them, they're most likely going to show up because you pre-planned it.
Yeah.
It kind of makes people more true to their word, I think. But it's just an interesting dynamic with phones. But,
it's.
Well, you guys are just as motivating to us over here. I'm so thankful we're all connected up.
Yeah, you guys are really, really inspirational to me because I was looking at that video, and it's so funny because I get the feeling that all of you guys are so like you can't just do a regular enema. You do these crazy, like you take everything to the nth level. I love that. I love it. It's so cool.
Yeah, just trying to push the boundaries, see what's possible with, I don't know, I guess when you come on this path, you then just start to think like, wow, what is possible, like, with your health, what's next? And that's why it is like, you've just got to listen to your intuition more and what's coming up, and you have these crazy ideas and you're like, why not? Give it a go.
Why not? Try it out.
Yeah, and film it. And let the whole world see it.
I love it.
So people can stay connected and follow your guys' journey on the Cosmic 33. You'll continue to post about what you guys are working on in your lives, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to up my social media presence.
Cool.
I'm getting there. So we're on Twitter and Facebook now as well. So
That's
it's
exciting.
good. Building our community. Yeah.
Nice. I
And
love it.
Miss Bo Cosmic, we're going to call you now. You're going to head over to the States and come visit us.
Yeah, we love having you here.
That's
Well, we're going to steal her away for a little while from you guys and have some fun with her
Just
too.
a little while. We want her back.
We'll send her back.
That's awesome.
Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
us.
thanks for having us. We loved it.
Oh, you're so welcome. And we look forward to connecting more.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Come to London.
Yeah.
Come hang out at the Cosmic House.
I know.
We got to get our heads screwed on straight and do some enemas the right way with you guys over
I know,
there.
right? Crazy.
Yes, definitely, you guys. Let's stay in touch and connect, and one day in person for sure. It'd be amazing.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much.
Juice it up.
Juice it up.
See ya.
Okay, thanks,
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow, that was so cool, wasn't it?
Those people are so motivating.
I
Those
know.
guys are just on it. It is so good to have a community around you of just people doing
It
the
is.
exact same. Like we're all in this. We're all in it together, as Drew Canoli would say. But
Yeah.
gosh, we're all so just motivated by different things. I mean, when a sentence, like when Bo and I have been communicating, she'll say something or just a sentence or send me a quote, and it changes my entire outlook, either for the day or just on a project I have or the way that things are going. Or you're watching Daniel and Victoria's stuff. It makes, and their little daughter, I mean, Emmy, you watch that kid make a smoothie and you're like, oh my gosh, it just is so motivating to go take the time to do something like that. A little kid is doing it.
The little kid's doing it, right.
I mean, there's just so many levels of motivation here. And
cool. What
beauty.
I really like a lot about what they're doing is that they're pushing the envelope. They're trying to see what's possible.
Yeah.
Which I really, really love. And they're also, what's really cool is they're our age, and so there's a lot of people that are younger that they're not in their 70s and 80s, and they're sick, and now they're trying to figure out how to reverse something.
Right.
These are all people that are young,
Right.
and they want to see what life can have for them. They want to see what's possible. They want to push the envelope.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think that is the most exciting.
Yeah, because it's like, back in the 70s, it seems like it was only people who were older that were into health, and they were the kind of granolas, the older hippies, and they had their health problems, so they're trying to just kind of work on their little diabetes thing. And but now it's like we have this whole worldwide community of people that are young
and proactive,
and they're into prevention of disease.
Prevention, right?
But
That's
they're
the word.
Also interested in just taking their health to another level to see where it takes them
Yes.
in every area of their life.
Yes.
I love that.
Well, just imagine where their child's going to be. I mean, imagine our generation, let alone the ones below us. I mean, you and I were talking, and we think that the coming generations, there's going to be such a polar opposites going on. There's going to be not a lot of middle ground anymore. There's going to be the kids that are taking charge of the future and the planet and their lives and their health, and they're just going to charge it. And then there'll be the people, unfortunately, that will just completely drop off to the wayside even more than we see around us and just have nothing.
Yeah.
No health, completely checked out mentally, physically, emotionally. It's going to be really interesting to watch the dynamic.
Yeah, because the
huge
pharmaceutical industries and all of these medical industries with vaccinations and things have been really damaging to children coming in like in the 80s and 90s or even. And so when those kids grow up, or kids that are being born in mid-90s even now, when those kids grow up, they're going to have a lot harder of a job to do to really regain their health.
Yeah.
And so you're going to start seeing, I think, childhood diseases and things like that, and
unfortunately.
And then you're going to have the opposite polar effect, which is what you just talked about, of people who are really interested in their health and want to take things to another level.
Yeah. It's just so encouraging to see kids like Emmy, literally taking and being in love with it. It seems like she loves it,
I know, right?
It's so cool.
She was talking about her maca and her spirulina and all
her
that
little
stuff.
And of course, we're a sucker for little British accents.
Yeah,
They're so cute.
Little children with British accents.
She's so precious.
So if you want to check out those videos that we're just talking about, go on to cosmic33.com. Cosmic and then 33.com, and you'll see all their videos.
It's pretty cool. And check out Bo's website as well.
MyOrganicLife.info. Yeah,
and
good stuff.
Talk about motivating there you go right on there, and there's an introduction to how to do coffee enemas. And then the recipes are just to die for. Right now, there's a banana pumpkin meal and coconut cake recipe.
Oh,
beautiful.
Wow.
So if you ever have some time on your hands and you want to get super motivated to try out some amazing recipes that are super life-giving and healthy, check out Bo's site.
Yeah, we'll link it up too on this show page if you're out and about. This is episode 213.
Yep.
So we'll put a link to that. Let me read another email here.
I have one too when you're done. Or you were going to go.
Greetings from Mississippi. I found your podcast about 2 weeks ago, and I absolutely love it. You guys are so interesting and informative.
Nice.
Your guests are all top of the line. I've learned so much. I'm studying to be a naturopathic doctor. I feel that I am learning as much from you guys as I am from my classes. I became interested in natural health a couple years ago when my dad became very sick. Since then, my family and I have begun eating a healthy diet and taking nutritional supplements. Through my studies and the people that I listen to on the radio, I've been able to help both my mom and myself lower blood pressure. That's great. That was our greatest battle as far as she and I are concerned, and I'm also legally blind, but I do not let that stop me.
Wow.
I'm always interested in anything that could give me my sight. Because of my vision problem, I am dictating this email by voice, so if there are mistakes, that is why. So far, since I have been listening to you guys, my favorite guests of yours has been Chris Kaler.
Oh.
Wow. That is not to discount anybody else, but he reminds me a lot of the doctor that I go to. My doctor's name is Thomas Lucky. Thomas Lucky? And he is located in Meridian, Mississippi.
Meridian. I love it.
Yeah, that's twice.
Yeah.
I think he would be a great guest on one of your shows if you're interested in talking to him. Thank you so much for what you're doing. You're a blessing to me and my family. Keep the great information coming, and I will be listening. Have a healthy and blessed day.
Oh. Wow.
Amazing. Wonder if you've had a chance to listen to...
Kondrat.
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to say?
I was.
What was his first name? Dr. Kondrat?
Dr. Edward Kondrat.
Is it Edward? Okay.
Yeah.
He seems like he's doing some stuff with sight that is unlike the other things we've ever heard, from what I remember.
The two people that I would reference for sight that I know about at least are Dr. Edward Kondrat, as well as, what is his name? Dr. Jerry Tennant.
Oh, right.
And he has this thing that he's formulated or put together. It's called the biomodulator. And it's this tool that helps to increase the voltage in the body. And he's been having some incredible successes with eye issues like glaucoma, macular degeneration, wet and dry, as well as other conditions. So those are two people I would reference right away for sight.
Legally blind and still doing all that. It shows you that, again, there's just no excuse for anybody to not live their dreams. I mean, you usually look at all she's doing in life, and
Isn't that awesome?
she can't even really see very well.
So thanks, Chastity.
She's changing the world.
I really appreciate that.
That's
was a
so
great email.
flattering.
Yeah.
I have one here from Chris. Justin and Kate, hey, just wanted to say I'm a fan of your show and listen regularly. I've been meaning to ask for a while, but I was looking at the Find a Spring site and wanted to know which one you go to. I want something easily accessible where I can fill 10 to 15 gallons without a ton of effort or hassle from anyone. That being said, I will hike a long ways to get to the highest water I can. Also, I was wondering where you bought your 5-gallon glass carboys. I would like to pick them up to avoid the $23 shipping per item cost. Thanks for all you do, and I use your link to do all my Amazon shopping.
Oh, wow.
Thanks, Chris.
Oh, that's so cool.
Okay, the Find a Spring we use is the one in Idlewild, California.
That's right.
It's at the top of a mountain. It's just gorgeous. It's really easily accessible right off the road. You can back your car right up to the spring. We fill, how big are our carboys? 6.5 gallons?
6.5 gallons. We have 5 of those.
And they weigh a ton. So the only hassle I'd say would be to, thank God Justin's strong enough because I couldn't even lift one. Almost empty, I can't lift one. I need to do a little more workout in my upper body strength.
Yeah.
But I'd say that's the only hassle, wouldn't you, as far as like just the lifting? But if you can pull your car up close enough, it's doable.
We've only had a couple times where there have been people there where we've had to wait, but
right.
Typically we strike up conversations with people.
And people are really
cool.
Interesting.
And yeah, that's where we fill ours up. It takes about probably 4 minutes or 5 minutes to fill up 6.5 gallons.
I think you're right, yeah.
And so we have 5 of those and then some other smaller bottles. So it takes us about a half hour or probably more than that.
We're there about an hour.
Yeah, if you consider all the time there. But
it's quiet, it's beautiful, it's refreshing to be out there. You can hear like screeching birds, and it's just quiet besides the occasional car going by the highway.
You know what I would do if you want to get those glass carboys? Go look for a place in your area that's a
brewing company.
A brewing company.
Brewing supplies for beer.
Yeah, for beer.
We got ours at a brewing.
Yeah, I want to say it's O'Shea's or something.
I think it is O'Shea's.
Is that right? It's off of, if you're in the Orange County area, it's off of Oso.
Off of Avery.
Avery?
Avery Parkway.
And Mission Viejo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's called O'Shea's. I'll try to find a link to it there if you're in the Orange County, California area. But I would look for a brewery in your area, and you can usually find these things for pretty cheap. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not sure how much ours was, $10 or something.
Yeah.
But what you want to do is, if you're going to get glass carboys like that, you really want to figure out a way that you're going to be able to carry them.
Yeah.
So we have these straps that we put on the side of them, and they're...
I believe we got them from Amazon, right?
Yeah, you know what? There's an article that I wrote with all the different accessories that I use for the spring water.
Nice.
Let's see, what is that called? Just put spring water accessories article, and I'll look it up, and I'll put a link to that on this show page.
Yeah. Those are amazing. They're called brew haulers, I believe, and they fit around the thing, and they have handles around the glass. Because, I mean, you can't pick those things up to save your life.
Yeah, they're about 60 pounds or something. And you can get these brew haulers on Amazon as well. Yeah. That's where we bought ours. So, cool.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Chris.
Awesome. Do you have another one, or do you want me to go?
I have another one.
Okay.
The one I was mentioning earlier. This is from Brenda.
Okay.
Hi, Justin and Kate. I recently heard you guys mention that Justin has had something that seems like bronchitis for a long time, and Kate mentioned having to clean a lot to get rid of the mold in the bathroom. Something similar happened to me many years ago, only much more severe, where I was in the ER over and over due to breathing issues and misdiagnosed with pneumonia 1 month after moving into an apartment in San Francisco. I don't believe I had pneumonia since antibiotics were making me feel worse, and I found out after testing the air that there was severe water and mold damage behind the drywall in my bathroom. I also became sensitive to chemicals at this time and found it difficult to go into a hair salon. Wow. So that just got me thinking that maybe you guys should look into having your place tested. After moving, I slowly started to get my health back after many years of cleansing and ozone therapy, lots of juicing and coffee enemas, etc., but I'm still extremely sensitive to indoor mold and other older buildings. Wow.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, that was one of the email. That's the email we got the same day that we heard from 2 other people talking about mold in the walls. So
Yeah, so those all 3 came through in one day, and so it's like
kind of pay attention.
Yeah, you kind of really want to pay attention to stuff that comes through like that. Mold is a huge deal. I remember listening to an interview with this lady, and I really want to find out who this lady was, on the bestdayever.com website with David Wolf. And she mentioned that she had a series of these health conditions, couldn't figure it out, had all these respiratory problems. I think she may have even been diagnosed with some kind of tumor or cancer or something. And she, for years, couldn't figure out what this was, and finally figured out that it was mold. And she moved out of that place, and she started to heal. It was almost like immediate. And so it's a big deal, mold, in your apartment or in your house.
It's a really big deal. The girl that I am friends with, that I know of, she, oh my gosh, she has liver problems. And they just found out it's the mold. Liver. I mean,
Wait, she's a friend of yours?
She's my friend's friend that I was just talking to.
Oh my gosh.
They moved out immediately, and she's been having all these liver problems.
Wow.
And they linked it to the mold. I mean, the list is endless of what real toxic mold could do to you. And,
Yeah, you don't want these mold spores in your lungs and
no.
things like that. That's for sure.
Crazy, right?
Wow,
Yep.
crazy. All right, we have another question from Travis, and he says, has anybody tried or heard of mixing? He wrote in response to the article I wrote about why I'm giving up the Sun Warrior protein.
Oh, okay.
And he was wondering if people let it soak the protein powder overnight.
Oh.
So I'm not sure to make it easier on the gut. I'm not sure it's...
Well, that would make sense. Anything, quote, soaked is easier to digest, but...
It would make sense. I've never tried that. So if you guys have any experience with Sun Warrior soaking, that I guess you just mix it up and blend it and then let it sit overnight?
I would think. I kind of strain out the water and stick it back in your smoothie.
I'm not sure how to even do that.
I'm not sure either.
That's weird.
We should put that in the forum. Interesting.
Has anyone soaked the Sun Warrior protein powder overnight and consumed it that way? Not so sure about that. Sounds like an interesting idea.
It does, huh?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, thanks, Travis. Never heard of that. If any of you guys have,
I never would have thought of that, actually.
never would have thought of that. Yeah. So if you guys have any experience with that, please share it on the forum or in the show page.
Yeah. I have one here from Michael. Hey, Justin, I listened to this recorded show it has a link to Robert von Sarbacher.
Uh-huh.
The word, quote, spinners was not even mentioned. Where can I find out about spinners with the magnets? Do you know what that means?
The spinners with the magnets?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
You don't remember that?
No, I know that, it might be Professor Ron Kusan. He makes
Ron
this...
Kusan.
Yeah. He makes this really interesting Vortrap spinner that you can put on the outside of your Vitamix blender.
Oh.
So it's really cool. And he's got these... I'm not sure if this is what's being referenced here or not, but we've interviewed Professor Ron Kusan, and it's Cusson. We should have him on. He's a fascinating guy. He's all into...
We have had him on?
Yeah.
Yeah. We should have him on again.
He's into vortex energies and all kinds of amazing magnesium from the ocean, and he's really cutting-edge guy. But he makes these contraptions that you can fit over the top of your Vitamix or Blendtec blender, and they've got these really powerful magnets on there, and it helps to structure the water and infuses anything you make in the blender with these vortex energies, which is really cool. I mean, if you're going to use your blender, why not use it with something like that, right?
Yeah, like the Cosmix. See how far you can push it.
I know, right?
See the best health you could possibly be in. Why
and
not?
if it doesn't work, then some of it will work because of your belief that it does.
Sure.
Yeah, so
of course.
I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about, but check out our show with Professor Ron Kusan.
Okay.
And you can get in contact with him. I'm not sure what episode that was, but you can look him up.
Going back to the mold in the chat room, Stella asks, how do we know if we have mold in our house and how do we get it tested? We went up to the local, what's that place called? I was going to say department store. Hardware store.
Department store. we went up to Macy's.
And bought $12 for a little home mold test kit. And you place it and it tries to attract the spores inside and kind of you put the lid back on it and see if it grows. That's the most cost efficient, and at least I think if there's major mold in your house, it'll catch some of that probably and show you. And then if not, you can obviously have a mold specialist, come in if there's a bigger problem and really dig and see what's really going on. But that's what we're going to do to start. And so far we haven't had any growing.
And what you can do too is you can do mold testing in different rooms of your house. Like if you have an office or like your bedroom, you can test in there, and then you can get different ideas. And then they also recommend doing an inside and outdoor test as well. But see, for me, like, didn't you say one of your friends, Kate, they found out they had mold and it was so bad that they had to move out in the middle of the night or something?
Yeah, they did.
Was that what happened?
Yeah. They moved in. They literally moved in and took painstaking, moved their whole family and 3 kids, whatever, and found out within a week they started having all the kids got sick and all this stuff, and they found mold and moved out that very day into the night and just got out overnight because they didn't want to. I mean, it wasn't worth what was happening to their little kids and stuff.
Wow,
freaky.
Wow,
yeah,
that's just incredible.
Yeah, and it was shisty. There was paint over spots that they literally, if you touched it, you start to see that there was all this leaking behind the wall.
Oh,
I mean, it was visible the minute more they kind of was like, what? Why is that cabinet pushed over that way? There was shady stuff going on. But
it's really important, everyone listening, to make sure that your home is a place for health and healing.
Yeah.
It's really important that you have low EMF radiation in your home, that you're protected, that you have low exposure to mold or no exposure, and that you create a real place that you can go and feel safe and feel like you can heal in your home, and not just safe and heal, but then also take your health to another level too, like doing things like putting that contraption on the outside of your Vitamix, or working with crystals, or bringing some of these tools into your home to really make it a place where it serves you. You know?
Yeah.
I think that's really important. So
not only a sanctuary for your mental and emotional state, but just to know you're going to go in there and be safe with what you are breathing and ingesting.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so critical.
Yeah.
Because you can't. It's like having a dead tooth in your mouth.
Right.
You can't. You can do coffee enemas, you can do green juice fasts and things like that. But if you've got a dead tooth, or if you've got a toxic living environment, you got to shore those things up first.
Mm-hmm.
But now we have an email from Stella, who happens to be in the chat room as we speak.
Nice.
She's listening live, and she says, "Hey, Justin, I really enjoyed this show." I'm not sure which show. Let's see here. This might be an older email. But I wanted to say what might be good for one may not be good for another. I agree. When I have eggs, my feet tend to start itching, which is so weird. I'm starting to eliminate things and slowly test each food, and eggs were making my feet itch. I also stopped having too much fruit and limited it to 1 a day or even 2 servings a week. It's so difficult to know, because when I have animal protein and go for paleo, my skin starts flaring up because I feel like it clogs me. But when I go vegan, my face gets better, only I can't live without nuts if I go vegan. This is so challenging, but I never lose faith in finding something and sticking to what works for me 100%. My skin has gotten much better since I've been doing enemas and clearing my skin with a Clarisonic cleaner.
Clarisonic.
Oh, Clarisonic.
Yeah.
See, I'm not into the
to women's beauty products, really?
I feel like I'm a little left out here. I also started doing some bone marrow broths, and I was drinking that a whole last week and feel pretty good on it. I guess the collagen helps the skin and gut to heal. But I do tend to realize that when I do have nuts, my stomach on the left side starts to hurt, which is crazy because I like Brazil nuts as a snack. But I guess it's good, better, and best when I'm at school.
Yeah.
Better some nuts than a Snickers bar or a bag of chips, right? So that was cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I've never had that with nuts, but I don't need many nuts. I think they clog you up too much.
Yeah, we both don't do that well with them anymore, do we?
No.
We used to use them a lot more, and really, we've cut a lot of seeds, nuts, grains, all that kind of stuff out. But.
Yeah, we do I do the pumpkin seeds because they're very good. They're anti-parasitic. Mm-hmm. I like to do those, and seeds for me. Chia seeds. I do hemp seeds, and we do like our apricot kernels.
We do like our apricot kernels
for the vitamin B17.
Right.
Yeah, but interesting. Yeah, thanks, Stella.
I have one from Petra. Hi, Kate and Justin. It would be helpful if you could post the email comments / experiences you receive regarding Chris Kaler, as you often mentioned in your shows that you're getting quite a lot of comments about him. Thanks and best regards, Petra.
Oh, Petra's wanting to know if we could post all of the emails.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would take quite a bit of time, actually, for us. We could go through and find all of those. That would be very helpful. I would agree.
You know what? From here on out, though, I have an idea, because we are so just kind of slammed between the two of us trying to get all this stuff. Because I do find it's really important for people to relay their experiences, especially if someone's interested in this kind of work. I think that'd be a perfect, like, we should have an energetics forum post, like a place in the forum where people can share their experiences with Chris Kaler and other energy healers, so people can really ask personal questions to the people, like, about, it's like take us out of the equation and just have people interact with, like, hey, what did this do? Hey, what did he say about that? Hey, have you healed from this? Or just really get into that and let people kind of run wild with it themselves.
That's smart. So we should put that as a topic thread in the forum.
I think we should. Because we get a lot of Chris Kaler comments, and we do have a lot of people writing in saying, oh my gosh, what just happened? I was listening to the show and I felt this, crazy experience of a healing from my arthritis, or ringing in my ears went away after 12 years, or we've had these things.
That's a good idea.
So I think that'd be good. And then it's also not sharing maybe people's quote private emails, or maybe they don't want that experience out there. That's my only other thought. Right. And if it's a forum, people are obviously very willing to share and go there, and just, I think that would be a good thing.
Let's do that. Let's start a thread called Chris Kaler.
Oh,
and
let's do it.
And people can talk about their experiences with Chris Kaler, because we've had so many emails come in from that, and like we talked about before, it would just take hours to go through and find all those and then edit them, and
unfortunately
change the names, and
yeah.
But I think starting a thread in the forum would be perfect.
I do too.
That's good.
Like that idea?
Look at that. I love it.
It just came to me right now.
All right. Jamie writes in, hey, Justin, long time no talk. I hope everything is well. I finally finished my website. I've gone with regainedwellness.com. Regained, plural, or with an ED, regainedwellness.com. It's not perfect, but hopefully it's a good start. We'll love, let's see, I've got a few blogs up there if people are interested in checking it out. Awesome. Jamie Loggy. Yeah, he's up in Canada. I spoke with him off the air and a couple times, and he's actually done some articles for us too. He's submitted some guest posts.
That's right.
Yeah, he's awesome. And he's working with people really in an integrative way up in Canada. Yeah. Because he understands the dietary, the physical, and the emotional as well. Yeah,
he's been in contact with us
a few
since
times.
The beginning, right?
Yeah, for a long time. And
goes way back.
He's written quite a few articles, I think 2 or 3 articles for us, I think.
Yeah.
So if you guys are interested, again, like I said, in those articles and submitting some articles to us, please email me and let me know. We're now accepting guest post contributions. So,
nice.
Yeah, feel free to do that.
Yes.
Okay. Do we have any others?
I have one more here.
Okay.
Let me get to it. Sorry, 1 second.
And we'll put a link to Jamie's website, regainedwellness.com, on this show page, too.
Got it. Yes, I have one last one here from Meredith.
Okay.
I've always been interested in experimenting with coffee enemas, and after listening to your show and reading the Gerson therapy, I'm even more so. However, after having a child years back, I've always had issues with hemorrhoids, and I'm not sure if it is safe to do coffee enemas. I was curious if you have read or heard anything on the subject. Any information or recommendations would be greatly appreciated. I find that fascinating because I myself have had flare-ups of hemorrhoids in the last few months, and since then I have actually not done coffee enemas because I'm a little nervous about it. Mm-hmm. To be honest, that's where I stand right now, and I do not know my thoughts about how I feel, because I know I want to go back to doing enemas, but it is a little disturbing once you have a hemorrhoid. You don't want to do any more damage.
Yeah. You don't want to. You want to let that thing heal or go away, kind of.
Right, but after pregnancy, I mean, those hemorrhoids people get are pretty much there unless they get surgically removed, so they can flare up and go away and flare up and go away and throughout life.
Right.
So if they've never gone away completely, I'm not sure if a once in a while enema or a regular enema would, cause a problem. I'm not sure. You know
what I would do? There's lots of really great natural ways to get rid of enema. I would recommend the book called
To Get Rid of Hemorrhoids?
Yeah, H Miracle I think it's by Holly Hayden.
Okay.
And she's really great. It's called H Miracle. And if you go to extremehealthradio.com/H Miracle, it'll take you there. But it's got a lot of good things in that book and tells you how to work with the hemorrhoids, how to heal them, and so that they go down.
Even if they're long-standing, like hemorrhoids that you've had for years and years and years?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
definitely some really good tips in that book.
Cool.
But that's what I would recommend. But yeah, I think what it really comes down to is listening to your body, and that's really what we're doing now, because we get, like we were just talking about last night, we get information from you guys as listeners as well as guests,
Yeah.
and from other people that we know, and everyone's telling us different things. And I'm sure you guys,
Overwhelming at times.
yeah, I mean, you can go online and listen to Dr. Mercola talk about the benefits of whey protein, and then you can go on and listen to Marcus Rothkranz talk about how whey protein is going to damage you. So you have all of these things, and what it comes down to is just really learning to listen to your own body.
Mm-hmm.
No one can tell you what's going to be healthy for you, you know?
Yeah, and I think your body gives you little clues. Like, I know when I started feeling the hemorrhoid with me flaring up, I had done too many coffee enemas for my body leading up to it. And my body was like, are you going to pay attention, or are you going to irritate it more? Oh. And I knew I should have not done one more. And the one extra I did put me into a total flare up. And that's caused me not to be able to do them for the last, couple months.
Yeah, yeah.
And it has gone away, and I'm ready to kind of go back there, but I'm going to revisit it in a way that I'm listening better this time.
That's the name of the game.
I feel like personally, I won't be afraid to do one again. And I think that if I'm not doing them, I think I was doing them too much for my own body at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll know right away whether or not I feel like that's, I don't think they can I don't think a coffee enema can damage you, but I think it could cause a flare up
of an already existing
existing one. And then I think you would know whether to back off or not, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
It's not what I recommend, but
yeah, I think it really
hard.
just comes down to listening to your body. And as a culture, as a society, we're taught not to do that. We're taught to always to go see an expert and always go see somebody else, who can help you with things. And
there is a time to get opinions, but even those are just opinions,
opinions,
from a doctors or experts or whoever.
Yeah, and also we're taught to just sort of glorify anybody that's in authority, like teachers or doctors or any of these types of people. We're taught to sort of bow down at their feet, and all of our life as children, we're taught to stay quiet, don't talk, your voice doesn't mean anything. And then when you get older, you're taught to go get opinions from friends and from family members and from all these people, but we're never taught to just sit silently with ourselves and really listen in to what our own bodies are telling us. We're never taught to go and get that way and get silent and really seek what the truth is. We're taught to go ask everybody else and then take a mishmash of all their opinions.
You're right.
It doesn't work.
No, you're totally right.
Yeah.
Totally right.
So I think that's about it. We're going to wrap up this Free for All Friday show. I think that's about it, right?
Yeah. Should we, since it's been so long, should we forego the fun facts and go straight to the quote, or you want to do one fun fact?
Let's do one fun fact.
Okay. Since we've been talking about chia, maybe we'll go with a chia seed fun fact. Oh, gosh.
And now join us for Fun Facts with Kate.
Oh, man.
Where you never know what the heck is on her mind. Or gonna come out of her mouth.
I was making fun of my own laugh, and you
I know, and I took it away.
Gosh darn it.
You gotta thank me for that one.
That was a creepy laugh. Thank you. Thanks.
That was
I know, I was making fun of myself too. Great reasons to eat chia seeds every day. Here you go, peeps.
All right.
High in antioxidants. Contains 5 times more calcium than milk. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Contains 7 times more than vitamin C.
Really?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't finish that sentence. Contains 7 times more vitamin C than oranges.
Oh, my goodness.
I was thinking calcium. That's funny. Contains 3 times more iron than spinach. Contains twice the potassium content of a banana. It's food for healthy skin, hair, and nails. Superfood for the brain and the heart. It's packed with omega-3 fatty acids. It maintains healthy bones and teeth. It's a great source of protein for vegetarians, which is so true because I was worried about the proteins.
Right.
And improving your heart health.
Wow.
So yeah, chia seeds, you can't really OD on those. You can have them every day. They're amazing.
Yeah, chia seeds are a true superfood. I love chia seeds.
They're powerful.
Yeah, I put them in my smoothie every day. I used to make chia seed gel or pudding with it.
Oh yeah, you did.
And recently we made a little weird concoction with chia seed and aloe vera.
Oh yeah, that was less than desirable tasting,
But you can put, it's really great because they're so gelatinous,
right.
but
They slide right down the throat.
right down the pipe.
Yep.
Chia seeds.
Yeah, it didn't taste good at all, and but you did a little shot of it. It's gone. You just lubed up everything in there. Feels good to do it every day.
I know, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I love chia seeds. Do those every single day.
Me too. I don't, but I used to. I should get back on that.
That's right. That's right. All right, so we're going to wrap up here. This is extremehealthradio.com/213. And please, if you guys would be so kind as to share this show with your friends or on Facebook, we would greatly appreciate it. And we were saying earlier that all of our shows are 100% free. So if you would like to support us through a donation, we would be so grateful for that. We don't want to charge at all, and this is my full-time job, and this is basically Kate's full-time job as well. And so we're putting all of our time, effort, and energy into this website so that we can provide healing tools and information for you guys for free. So the only catch is that it costs money for us to live and to pay the bills. So if you guys can spare a few dollars here and there every now and then to donate, it really does make a big difference.
Yep.
It really makes a big difference. And then also we have a store as well. You can check out our store. We've got lots of great products on there.
We highly appreciate those.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
The sauna, the rebounder, blenders, programs and courses and cleanses and all kinds of stuff in our store. So check that out. And also, if you don't really want to do any of that and you want to just support us if you make a lot of purchases on Amazon,
yes,
you can go to extremehealthradio.com/Amazon. And
like I've been saying, everybody wins.
Everybody wins, right? So we'll get a little commission.
Stuff and we get a commission.
Yeah, so that really does help us. And we are so grateful for all your support. And please pass this show on to your friends and family, anybody you think would enjoy it. It means the world to us. And so we just love doing these shows for you guys and have such a great time doing it.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So that was that. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. If you'd like to continue the discussion, please go to our forum and you can join. It's free to sign up, and you can become a member and talk about Chris Kaler, coffee enemas.
Any subject known to man.
Upside
down trapeze hanging.
That's right. So please join our forum if you'd like to continue the discussions about anything that we talk about on the show. So it's free to sign up, and it's exclusive for members of Extreme Health Radio listeners.
Yep.
All right. So you want to do the quote?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Before we will say goodbye, let's leave you with something to ponder throughout your day. Here's an inspirational quote for this episode.
There you go.
This comes to us from Elizabeth Kubler-Ross.
Okay.
The most beautiful people we have known are those who have known defeat, known suffering, known struggle, known loss, and have found their way out of the depths. These people have an appreciation, a sensitivity, and an understanding of life that fills them with compassion, gentleness, and a deep loving concern. Beautiful people do not just happen. The most beautiful people we have known are those who have known defeat, known suffering, known struggle, known loss, and have found their way out of the depths. These people have an appreciation, a sensitivity, and an understanding of life that fills them with compassion, gentleness, and a deep loving concern. Beautiful people do not just happen.
Thank you for listening to this episode. Maggie says it's time to go for now, but our mission does not end with this show. Justin and Kate will be back with another interview packed full of ideas, discoveries, and unique ways to regain your health. Head on over to extremehealthradio.com/subscribe and instantly download our free gift too that contains cutting-edge strategies to start making healthy lifestyle changes today.
No material on this blog is intended to suggest that you should not seek professional medical care. Always work with qualified medical professionals, even as you educate yourself in the field of live food nutrition and alternative medicine. I'm not a doctor, nor am I offering readers or listeners medical advice of any kind. None of the information